Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Can you guys hear me? Let's go. Well, Mana is drinking some strong coffee recently because holy hell, that's a lot of streams. Not really though. I just get home a little bit earlier so that I still have a little bit of time to like stream. Hello everybody. Also, everybody, thank you so much for congratulating for the greetings. Because apparently Twitch notified me today that it's my first stream anniversary apparently. So I decided to like, I don't know, out of a whim, last like 2 years ago, I'm like, you know what, maybe I should start streaming on Twitch as well. And then I did, and then like, what was that, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, and then in January 2025, like I decided like, you know what, I'm gonna try to like just stream more. And I started streaming more, and then I got qualified to like apply for partner. Like in February, if in February, like I think January, February, I grinded a lot of streams, and then by March I was able to like apply for partnership, and then they approved me. Yo, let's go! Thank you, Malo guy, for the cheered bits. And I hope there's many years to come to Mouth Chan. Thank you so much. Yeah, they they approved me like in I think by April they approved me of partner. So I'm like, whoa, okay, that's nice. So that was really fun. Even though I was like streaming on and off, but once I kind of locked in, I got partnership. And you know why? Because you guys are very supportive of me. So I wouldn't have been able to like get partner really that fast. Like it's like I think extremely fast for someone who doesn't even stream as much to get that much like, you know, momentum in getting like a partner, you know? To become Twitch partner in just like a month of grinding, a month and a half of grinding, you know? And all to everybody in the chat, to all of my imps who have been there supporting my work, my you know, my everything since day one, and for the imps that, you know, subsequent imps that you know decided to like support me when they, you know, found out about me. I mean, you guys found out about me that I'm not only like, you know, a musician, but I'm also, you know, I also talk a lot about politics, but also like the people who didn't even know that I was a musician. They're like, wait, you make music? I just thought that you talk about politics and shit. So there's like two kinds of imps. The ones that are like had no idea I streamed and just listened to my music, and the ones that had no idea I actually am a musician as well. And we're like, oh, I follow you because I saw you on Twitch. And oh wait, there's a third imp that know both. So three kinds of imps. Happy anniversary! Thank you, Skatebird, Brainrot, Iliando, and also first time chatter, Alan Shaft. Thank you. Welcome to the chat. Pixel Manny, thank you. Big Pig Stream Game, thank you. Welcome to the chat. First time chatta. Bilibili stream when. Hello, Fanboy Mao. What's good, Mana and Imps? Hello. Sheest. Ads right now. Oh, sorry. Ads right now. Sorry. Alan Shaft. I can't really read Russian. I can only read a few words in Cyrillic. While Mana is drinking some strong. Hello, Raccoon. Do they finally have an English? Yes. Okay, that's actually my. I'm reading my own comment. The fuck. Such devil. Hello. Thank you. Not like more like first stream anniversary. Deleted user. Hello, hello. Magnet get good. They're planning to release world. Oh, okay. It's been so long since I've made it to a stream. Happy anniversary. Thank you, 9950. It's like more like first stream anniversary. My partner anniversary is actually in April. I also didn't get to celebrate it because I was very busy. So maybe like, you know, the hopefully in 2027 I would have more like time to like do like events. Hopefully, you know. Didn't even realize it was an anniversary of any kind. Yeah, me neither. You and me both. I had no idea. Yo, let's go! Thai guys, thank you so much for the 1 gifted sub. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Let's see. Yes, Kanaku. SC, hello. Jack, well, hello. Tadalonis, hello. Susik, hello. Welcome, first time chatter. Spasiba. And hello. Okay, wait. I now just read Comrade Larry's chat. Hello, Comrade Larry. I just read it now. Yo, Adorn, thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs. Yo, let's go. I came in here last night to copy your name for my auto shoutout bot, and it told me it was your anniversary. Right? I just knew it today. You and me both. So, Akinori, hello. Hello, first time chatter. Hi, happy anniversary. Hello, world. Thanks for dropping by and the greeting. Streamerversary. Yes, it's more like a streamiversary. Another Mana stream. Happy Twitch anniversary, Mana. Also, hello again. Yes, hello, adorned. Hello, everybody. Eugenie Petrov. And Sari Berry, hello. Thank you. Mitlope, hello. Congrats. Not on 1 year, I think. It's my second year. It's my second year, like, my second year of ever streaming. Like, my first stream ever was, like, in 2024. Around August 21st, 2024, I decided like, hey, maybe I should stream on Twitch. Why not? Why the fuck not? And then, you know, everything snowballed from there. Hello, Platinum. Howdy, Mana and chat. Hope your time zone is going. Hello, Chill. Yes, Chill the stereo. I'm doing okay. I got off work like a little bit early today. Leo, hello. And Bestie Elise, hello, happy anniversary. Just got email confirmation today that the plushies are almost done with production. Let's go! Followed because you knew magic, then the music was fire. So were the pollets. Thank you, Sari Berry. Oh, you found my witchcraft shorts. Driving to work now. Talk to you later. Bye, Adorn. Have a safe trip. I'm still waiting on getting access to the Discord. I did that Google form thing for the Discord. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to ask my mods to like approve you. Hello, Sea Biscuit. 2027 will be our year, Mana. Let's go. Yeah, hopefully. Easy Dodge. Hello. Also, I got an email today that Plush's final production say, let's go! I'm excited for the plush. Me too, because I'm gonna have to send it to my mom. I got 2. One for me so that I can get like the freebies. Because, you know, like we achieved like 400%. Or like more than 400%, actually 500% of the production like funding. So by 400, we're gonna get like a standee or whatever. So we're gonna have a bunch of freebies. Like they're gonna give us a bunch of freebies for that. So thank you all for doing that, for like helping me fund and purchasing Mini Mana plushie. I really appreciate you all. Cause I also wanted the freebies for myself. I wanted the plushie for myself, and also the freebies as well. So good for you, good for me. Redeem highlight. Hello, reminder to opt your channel out of. Yes, I already opted my channel out of training. If you haven't done so already, Twitch implemented auto opt in for that shit. Yes, I already did. Minor spelling mistake on highlighted. It's okay. Don't worry about it. English is whatever anyway. Hello, Not Peps. Hey, man, I finally caught you live. Hello, Solarius. Yeah. Cause I wasn't planning on streaming today until I got the notification and it was like, oh, it's your streamerversary, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. I forgot about that. So it's not my partner anniversary, but it's more like my first time streaming on Twitch ever. So it's kind of like probably my Twitch debut. Mao. Not it's a big deal, but you know, like it's the decision that snowballed into whatever the fuck we have right now. So it's all thanks to everyone. All Bear T-Wash, hello. Auto opt in for the AI training bullshit. So I already opted out like manually, because apparently with that shit you have to manually opt out, you know. So I had to do that manually. Well, congratulations. It's very nice to have time to interact with the community and fans of your music. I know, right? It's kind of, like I really, that's what I enjoy about like streaming. And that's why my streams are very loosely structured, because I really I just want to talk to everybody. Cuz it's fun, like everybody's from around the world, so everybody's got something to say, And I want whatever everybody wants to say. I am returning to school Monday, and I'm going into automotive program. Oh, let's go! Wait, how old are you, Deleted? Are you 19? I forgot. I think I asked you how old you were. You were 19, right? Forgot about that. Because you were talking about your school stuff, and I'm like, oh, how old are you? You're going to school? Damn. Most of my listener, like my core listeners, are like, gainfully employed imps who are sick of working. I mean, there are quite a lot of like, there are quite a few fetus imps. But yeah. I recently remember it's Cannonball Corpse. Is Cannonball's Corpse still a thing? What do you mean Cannonball Corpse? It's a defunct project actually. It happened one time because I wanted my imps to like, do something for, for the community. They what do you call this? They did like a parody cover of Cannibal Corpse. So it was called Cannonball Corpse. And it was like a community effort, and I uploaded it on my channel to like showcase the work of the imps. That was fun, It's not a thing anymore because like most of the people left and stuff like that. But, that was what it was for at the time. It was fun. Sometimes you'll have to check my Discord DM and think about joining my stream team. I promise it's easier than my message makes it seems. Yeah, I'm really busy, so I haven't really read like the stuff that you sent. I'm sorry, but when I get the time, like hopefully this weekend, I will read through it. And I have to think about it too. Like, I mean, like, you know, you also had like like a long ass form in whatever, like the in your like the new server, and I had to think about that still. So it took a while for me to join. So it might take a while to join again. I can't complain about my job. Get half the year off. Only minus is I work the other half. Oh, okay. I mean, what kind of job do you have, average bad guy? Welcome to the chat. I understand. Don't worry. I'm 19. I have to do another year of high school because I'm short 3 credits, and they are letting me do this automotive program to graduate. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. You're still in high school. Damn. All right. I mean, good luck with that. I never wish to be in high school ever again. That was no. Although, you know, like in high school, that's when I started really like getting into punk and the hardcore scene, like, you know, like starting my own band and shit, stuff like that, meeting cool people. But if you're gonna ask me if I wanted to be like a teenager again, hell the fuck no. I like my financial freedom and freedom in general, like not having to like live with my parents, not having to depend on anyone, you know. That's like, yeah, something that I'd never want to go back. I'm still working on my essay for Larry server. I know, right? It's quite a lot, so I get it. Ship engineer. Happy streamiversary. May there be many more years of good music and chill streams. High school is rough. The school system is really flawed and isn't very good. Yeah, depending on where you went to school, but like, I mean, in general, high school kind of sucks because everybody is immature. I mean, it's fun at the time, but you know. Yeah, we keep the trolls away there. Yeah, I mean, I get it, because mine too is very much gate kept, but not like, it's more like 3 questions. With you, I have to summarize an entire essay. It's like you have to summarize it in your own words. I like being an adult with financial freedom, but I miss having the whimsy and magic in my eyes when I was a kid. I want that frog and toad life, the freedom of an adult, but the whimsy of a child. Yeah, I mean, yes, I get it. I like that. I mean, same, you know. I still got the whimsy though. I became a witch. Don't let adulthood like steal your whimsy, you know. Like, childhood is not the only, like, you know, the only time that you get to be whimsical as a person. You get to be whimsical for the rest of your life if you choose to, you know. That's why I chose witchcraft. Because I want to be whimsical forever. Even though I uphold dialectical and historical materialism, that is not, like, you know, a reason for me to like let go of my whimsy. Much like you don't have to let go of your spirituality or your spiritual practice just because you are a fucking communist. That's not really what communist is requiring you to do. Just fucking think for yourself and for other people. Like, look at life objectively, you know. Look at your surroundings and what's affecting your environment. Why are you living the way you live? This is really as simple as that, you know. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just it's an understanding of the world. It's a tool to understand why things are fucking you over, you know, and how to unfuck it, you know. That's how I see, you know, dialectical and historical materialism. It's not something that, oh, just because you do, like, you uphold that, you're gonna have to like be like objective, like in every single facet of your life, like no whimsy, only seriousness, only no, I don't think that should be the way, you know. You get to be whimsical and at the same time not a dumb bitch. I'm kidding. uh I made some mistakes during high school. I had to do a semester of 10th grade English as a 12th grader. Okay. Use demons to steal the whimsy back. Exactly. Summon the Goetia. You know, what the fuck? If that's what it takes to get your whimsy back, you're gonna have to summon all the 72 demons from the Goetia, from the Ars Goetia. Do it. I don't recommend it though, because you know. But you know, like one of them maybe. Like I don't think that majority of the demons in the Ars Goetia are not really even that intense, you know. I mean, they require you to like work on yourself, but they're not gonna ruin your life, okay? But don't summon them when you're like your life is already in turmoil. Go fucking pray to a saint. You know, witches also work with saints, you know? But yeah. Through socialism, we shall get our freedom of self and fulfilling work. No, there would be so many more artists. Yes, Detrius. Exactly, because like you know, that's what automation should have been. Like automation should have served us, you know, so that we don't have to fucking work back-breaking jobs and like boring jobs, you know? We get to make art more. But it's right now under capitalism, it's becoming backwards. That art has been stolen by fucking AI, you know? We should be the ones making music. We should be the ones making, you know, art. Why the fuck is it AI? The fuck? AI's job is to do factory work. Hell no. Life circumstances, death of a parent forced me to grow up faster than the other children. What that whimsy is mostly dead to. No. Reclaim your. You can reclaim your whimsy, chill, Destereo. I understand the trauma of being parentified at a very young age. I really do. But don't let life. It's never too late to take your whimsy back. Okay. There's always that little kid waiting to get that spark back, to get that whimsy back. So don't turn your back against your inner child. It's never gonna be too late. Doesn't matter how old you are. You still have that. No way I got an Exxon Mobil ad. Fuck, before I let me watch Kami Mana, like Mark's ghost trying to tell me something. Yes, and also thank you for the cheered bits, Angry Shark. I mean, I'm streaming in a fucking, you know, Jeff Bezos owned platform, right? And that's really ironic. That's like the irony that we have to like live through our everyday lives, right? Until we take the means of productions back. Right? In Minecraft, maybe. Mayhaps. Okay. High school was rough for me, especially college. I'm pants at math. Okay, I get that. Math is fine by me. It wasn't just like the way that it was like formatted, like the way that the curriculum was, made me not enjoy math as much. But now that I am an adult and like, you know, I just like checking out physics and math, you know, in my free time. Just for the hell of it, you know, because I never got to enjoy these things, and I think we should be enjoying these. We should be enjoying learning, you know? Speaking of whimsy, a Renaissance history professor at the University of Chicago is famous for teaching the scope of human influence within the envelope of grand historical forces for each year, organizing a 4-week LARP of the events leading up to the election of the Medici? How do you read that? Pope. The Pope always comes from one of the two great families, but the faction, constellations, concessions, etc. differ every time. Okay, that's cool. The election seizes the neo-Gothic cathedral on campus and is done in full Renaissance costume. Okay, that's fun. Join it. I would love to if I could. When I meant whimsy, I meant the thing of still discovering new things and being amazed by it while still being young enough for that whimsy to hit. I can still experience new things, but they won't be magical, I guess. In other words, to create new nostalgia. Oh, witchcraft did that for me. Absolutely, witchcraft like helped me deconstruct my religious trauma and also bring my whimsy back. And I still get that kind of hit, the hit of whimsy from reading things about esoteric knowledge and shit. It's fun. I am confused. Hello, Confi. Well, management stream. What is management stream? I was destined to be a writer or poet or even a lyricist, but no, capitalist school system demanded math even though I have dyscalculia. Yeah, that's sad. I'm so sorry. I really fucking dislike the orthodox education because it's not like geared towards helping people develop critical thinking, but probably in some colleges, but just elementary and high school, K-12 education, it's meant for you to follow rules and to be compliant and work under pressure for when you finally become a corporate worker someday. Meeting deadlines, you know what I mean? Having to work within all the restrictions that they put on you. Because they want a compliant worker. Don't let capitalism convince you adulthood is just suffering. Exactly, Dirt. Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, Bilibili has gone international. Maybe you might be able to expand. Yeah, I actually want to do that. Because, actually, from 2022 and 2023, Planya has been telling me to go on Bilibili. But I can't read Chinese. It's so hard for me to navigate a Chinese UI. So, I hope that I can, maybe, and we can stream a lot about Mao. we can stream a lot about MLM, not multi-level marketing. MLM, Marxism, Leninism, Maoism, because that's that's what I choose to uphold. It resonates with me more. What's up, big boss? What's in the agenda today? Actually, I don't really have much to probably gonna continue reacting to some videos. I'm open to suggestions today because I really didn't have anything pre-planned, because I just wanted to stream to talk to everybody. I'm sleep deprived again. No, deleted. Why you gotta always come to my streams sleep deprived, dude? Go to bed, man. Happy anniversary. Hello, Hizu. Thank you. Tovanarian, hello. Also, if accepting recommendations, there's a video on YouTube called History of the Japanese Left, would highly recommend. Ooh, send me the video. Hey Mana and hello Gori. Hello, hello. Medici. Okay, it's Italian. All right. Okay, Pope, Italy. Medici. Okay, Medici family. It took a long time for me to reclaim my whimsy. Borderline tiger parenting, undiagnosed OCD. Basically, it robbed me of my youth and a chunk of adulthood. Took me a long time to let myself grow and enjoy things and not view everything through the prism of duty. But better later than never. Plenty of life left. Yeah, that's true, Raccoon. And I feel like that's like every Asian kid ever. It's giving Asian kid. It's giving Asian upbringing. Tiger parenting, you say? Ooh, must be Asian parents. I mean, honestly though, even my parents were like a little bit more lenient with me. They were only lenient with me because they got older. They you know, they were already like middle age when I was like, you know, born. But when they were much younger with my brothers, oh hell no, my dad was like tiger dad. My mom was also tiger mom, so yeah, I got spared. I got spared from like extreme parenting that my brothers, like, you know, were actually complaining before, like, oh, you got off, you know, like pretty like easily because mom and dad are not as like brutal anymore. But when they were still kids, oh my god. Yeah, it's really true that like every time, like, you know, every child has experienced a different parent. Even though we have the same set of parents, like I have a very different experience with my parents than my, like, especially my eldest brother. That's why he's also very cutthroat. Not me though, you know? Every communist goes through the phase of mourning who you could have been had capitalism not demanded you work to survive. I get it, yeah. I really do. I feel that. The Medici family is the one from Machiavelli's The Prince. Oh, I've been reading that shit wrong the entire time. So it's read as Medici. Ooh. I didn't know that. I'm not Italian, so I'm sorry. Mamma mia, I didn't know it's Medici. You can't read Chinese yet. I mean, technically I could read. If you could read, like, you know, Japanese characters, I mean, it's technically Chinese. It's kanji after all, you know? It's Chinese letters, you know? It's Chinese characters. So I can say that I could like read like disembodied Chinese letters. But I don't know, like when you put them together, it doesn't make sense to me because it's read differently in Japanese. But sometimes, like, you know, like exit or entrance, it's the same in Chinese and it's the same in Japanese. I'm like, okay. But then, you know, the traditional Chinese character, like there are a lot of Chinese characters that we don't use in Japanese. So I don't know. Also get Red Note. It's not designed to steal your attention. It respects your time. Ooh. I don't really have time on, like, you know, a lot of social media. It's like I have a lot of like things to do. So it's really difficult for me to have a lot of multiple like platforms. That's why I deleted my TikTok in the first place, because I swear to God, I don't know how it works. I don't know like what I'm even doing there, because I don't like what's going on there. So there was no reason for me to be on TikTok. I'm on Instagram because I see a lot more musicians use Instagram, and it's not as chaotic as TikTok. And also, like, I don't like witch talk. Like, I don't like the esoteric, like, community, or like the witch community on TikTok, because they do just be saying a lot of bullshit, you know? And like, while every practice is different, they're just like posting like, oh, you know, like, do like obsession love spell with me. I'm like, do you really want that? Did you divinate on it that it's okay? Did your ancestors say, yeah, go do, like, absolutely go do the obsession love spell? That's really good. You know, like, did you do shadow work before doing that shit? Like, damn, okay. So, I mean, people just do be, like, teaching all these things willy-nilly, and it's just, it doesn't sit right with me, because, like, what the fuck? It's kind of like instant fix, you know? Like, people are still grasping. I mean, everybody is grasping. I am also grasping, you know? But the thing is, you know, like, it's not, it stops becoming spirituality when it becomes, like, something that you want to, like, want to get because you want to fix something, you know? Like, it's like, nothing can fix you. You don't approach these things to fix something in you, you know? Like, you approach it with, you know, with sincerity, and you know, like, do it with respect, and not just because it has something that could or might be able to fix what you got going on. It's weird. It's kind of like, I don't know. People are so conditioned to, like, have this, like, there's a pill for that, or there's a spell for that. How about you sit with that discomfort? You know, what if you're meant to, like, actually sit with that discomfort, so that you think about it, you know, and the solutions will come to your head when you actually reflect on the things that you're supposed to, you know, hold at the time. Because people are, when they get uncomfortable with like certain feelings or certain ideas or certain things, right? They always want to make it better, you know, like, oh, I want to get rid of this right away. But that's not, like, how, like, humanity has been dealing with that. Like, that's not how our ancestors dealt with that, you know? You gotta sit with it. If it means that you have to be bored, yeah, be bored. Sometimes we need to be bored, you know? Not everything has to be, like, filled with noise. And some people just really don't want to deal with their own shit, that yeah, it becomes like filling in the void, or it becomes like a, what do you call this, like a coping mechanism to escape. That's why some people, like, you know, get into substance abuse. Some people get into, like, different kinds of addiction because they're trying to escape something. And you know, I'm not saying that addiction is you know, anyone's fault. We all have, like, tendencies to have that, but some people don't have that what do you call this, coping mechanism, and it should be treated as a legit, you know, medical condition, and then they should seek help, you know? But what I'm saying is, like, don't treat spirituality as something that is a cure-all, like a pill that you can just take and then it will solve my problems with my relationship, or solve problems with whatever the fuck, you know? Anyway, I'm just rambling because I'm just explaining to you guys why I don't like being on Witch Talk. I don't like being on TikTok because I see a lot of these things in different forms. It could be a witchy, like, you know, in a witchy form, in a hyper consumerist form. It's just the same type of shit, but just in different fonts, you know? Something that you need to consume, something that's like, oh, you have a problem, okay, or like a manufactured problem, and I have a manufactured solution for you. Try this spell, try this pill, try this costume, try this trend. Oh my god, what the fuck? Also get rid. Okay, honestly, Mike, and Hassan are my goats for my left journey. Oh, let's go. Wait, what? Who is Mike? Me? I didn't really do much though. I mean, I'm just over here yapping away. But I don't like fucking debating anyone because there's really no point in debating, like, especially if they're right wingers. No. It's an exercise in futility. I'd rather spend my time talking with people who are on the fence rather than someone who's already convinced to, like, already convinced that everything that I'm gonna say is wrong. Also, very okay, Vinyl. Hello. Happy anniversary. Thank you. We could watch some Dongwon maybe. I think they won't copyright claim you. Billy's YouTube channel has them with English subtitles if you're interested. What is Dongwon? Did you try the pizza from hell? Oh, platinum. No, I haven't because it's expensive as fuck. Like, imagine like trying like a banana, banana choco pizza, and it's like what, $7? It was 1,200 yen for like a medium-sized pizza, and I'm not even sure if I can eat all of it. I don't want to waste food. But what if it doesn't taste good? Pizza from hell. The reason why I'm sleep deprived is ADHD and insomnia. Oh God, I'm sorry. Here you go. Okay. All right. Detrius. Let me get that. Okay. I'm gonna. How long is it? Oh, 29 minutes. Okay. Let's watch that. Thank you for your suggestion, Detrius. Wait. Stop, chat. I'm gonna read everything that you just said. I got the Asian kid experience without even being oh shit! Traditional European bourgeois approaches can weirdly parallel tiger parenting. Okay, I'm sorry. Happy anniversary. Hello, Cinnamon Challenge. Thank you. As the oldest of my family, I got a lot of layoff more than my... I got a lot layoff more than my little sister. I don't know why. Okay, that's a different experience for me than Dave. But I'm not Asian, so I got better of stick. Okay. Alright. Yeah, like Deguchi. Yes. I deleted my TikTok, became ill. I'll be fucked if I'm giving Oracle any more information. Yeah, that too. That's also why I deleted my TikTok. Just deleted my TikTok a while. Hello, Slender. TikTok is a hellhole. I know. Wasn't there a controversy in Japan over the fact many kinds didn't really know their kanji? Many kids didn't know their kanji anymore. But only hiragana and katakana. I seem to remember reading something about that. No, it's not that they don't remember. It's just more like they can't really write it as much. Like it's like a lot of people can read, but they can't like really remember the stroke order anymore because of smartphones. Because I experienced this like firsthand with like a city hall worker, right? Like they're supposedly like, they are supposedly adept at writing kanji, but like one of the workers forgot how to write something from the law, and they had to literally like get a dictionary or like get something like I'm not sure what they whipped out, but like yeah, they were like, oh wait, how do I write this again? And they had to like use reference because they forgot the stroke order. But yeah, it's a pretty common thing now for kids as well because of smartphones. For real though. Mana on Witchtagram. Yes, I am on Witchtagram. Actually, I follow a lot of witches. I don't like TikTok. They like to lock my videos behind a paywall and won't push my videos out unless I pay for views. Yeah, that sucks. Mana actually inspired me to get a ton of witchcraft books. Ooh, not primarily to get into the craft, but for inspiration. Yes, and also like if you just want esoteric knowledge, like learning about the lore of the demons in the Ars Goetia would give you so much material in your pending metal, metal project. There's enough material to go around in the esoteric, like with esoteric stuff. Like if you want to write like something pretty cool, yeah, get inspiration from that. And it's metal as fuck. Like all the lore in the Ars Goetia, the demons, their lore, yeah, it's enough for you to like write albums of like metal songs. It's cool as fuck. They're cool as fuck, You'll never run out of cool material. I want to make a fake spellbook grimoire for Halloween. I want to make something more unique than generic anime. Yeah. I highly recommend. Do more witchy things. Use that, like, use your whimsy, Like let your whimsy flow. That's exactly how it is. White people do that whole pagan witchy thing a lot of times because they reject the capitalist perversion of Christianity but have nothing else, so they dig up what little information is left on ancient pagan religions, but there's like no information to be consistent substantial religion. Yeah, because that's what happened when, like whiteness is created. If they go back to their roots, I'm pretty sure they can find like their ancestors. Like, the Celts have a very rich, like, occult history, like, and esoteric stuff. And a rich spiritual practice. The Norse, they have a lot, There's a lot. Scottish, there's very rich European, spiritual background, spiritual history, spiritual practices of the ancient people in Europe. Yes, there has been more issue with kids using phone keyboards more to type out furigana and select kanji and not writing kanji themselves. Kanji, yeah, as often, which hurts memory. Yes. Hato Kyari, hello. Welcome to the chat. I would know because I was once like that. Best place for me is just sit in the forest, mountain, and just chill. No, many can't do this because of where they live. Yes, yeah, but that's like if you have the opportunity to do that, but like by all means, definitely do that because that's like how you could commune with like the local spirits, and I mean just. Being outside in and of itself is a great thing, it's a very grounding experience, and everybody should do that once in a while. I would know best place for okay, welcome in at Hatokyari. Thank you, Comrade Larry, for welcoming the first time chatters. Happy anniversary, my hello waste burger. Oh, Borger. Waste Borger. That's why we're all here to hear you ramble. Thank you. Wow, Mike from PA. Yeah. Okay. But isn't Mike PA like from ACP? Is he from ACP? I'm not sure. Self-proclaimed Central Committee. I don't really follow that guy though. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna be having a big discussion about anarchism today with an anarchist. Not a debate, but ideological conversation. Oh, that's good. I used to believe in debate as a method of persuasion, but at this point, I don't think it's useful. I'm hoping it can be like a model of how we can talk. I hope so too, because I don't want to engage with like... Sometimes it's a really very sensitive topic, because it could go one way or another, but it always goes sideways because I don't know, I think I'm just a mean commie lady, I guess. If you're a communist and you ask too many questions about like if you ask anarchists too many questions, I'm somehow mean. I don't know. I don't want to experience that again because it's really off-putting. Especially my own stream, the fuck. Debating online is like that one image of monkey rage baiting a lion, but they're both lions. Social media monetization compress even the most intricate and or sacred matters into superficial, easily digestible content. Yeah, for real, I agree. Oh God. Okay, I'm really like behind in the chat. I understand that all these spiritual things are not for curing your problems, but for what? Just curious. What's the point of being a witch? Getting my whimsy back. Getting in touch with my ancestors. Because that's something that Christianity did not provide for me. Because I was like, my grandfather was converted by a freaking missionary to be Christian. So we never get to celebrate Buddhist shit, or Shinto stuff. Because that's like, of the devil or some shit. But no, I want to go back to how my ancestors, used to live, which is animist. And it's not necessary that, I could just be animist without being a witch, but I kind of want to I want to be a witch. I like doing ritual is very helpful, in processing like difficult emotions. There's actually a research about it. I forgot where, but I can look it up later. But there's some research about like rituals being very effective in what do you call this? In processing trauma and stuff. It's kind of like, spirituality is also very healing. Having a spiritual practice of your own choosing healed me from my religious trauma, Happy stream anniversary, but hello, Craig Bino. Witch Glaive. There's no reason to listen to a Nazi or any of those people. Exactly. That sounds good, though. Hello, Sprout Burner. Welcome to the chat. Pear and blue cheese is bomb on... Wait, pear? Pear? Donghua has all the awesomeness of anime without the creepy pedo gore fest of anime. Oh, wait. Can you recommend me some stuff? No more chat from this point. Everyone stop chatting while Mana catches up. Yes, I'm trying to catch up. No. Subscribe. Hello, Felix. Hello. Thank you for subscribing. Hello, Toasty. This is an older Japanese capitalism story, but goddamn, is it grimly funny. Let me see. Insanely evil Japanese company implodes overnight. Okay, I'm gonna keep all this in the to be watched later. Hopefully we can get through it because we do be yapping a lot again. Okay, I got the Asian kid experience. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. I'm actually lost again. Just a minute. What the fuck? Where am I? Okay, I'm here. I can recommend Left 4 Dead. Yeah. China is winning culturally right now. I believe that, and I want to believe that. That's part of my optimism. Happy anniversary! Thanks for the great music. Hello, warm egg salad. Warm egg salad. Okay. Thank you for chatting here. Druids. The other problem though is that European pagan stuff has been largely co-opted by Nazis and fascists, so it became exhausting to keep explaining that no, I'm not a Nazi. I'm just trying to return to my... Yeah, I get that. And I think you shouldn't stop because you should reclaim it from the Nazis. If you're European, please take back your roots from the Nazis. Like, don't let these weirdo fucking neo-Nazis from taking over, the pagan practices. The information also isn't consistent because religion isn't consistent. Even within the same religion, there's a ton of variation within it between location. That is true. To that, the corrosion of time and suppression by Christianity, a lot of pagan stuff is inconsistent with other bits of pagan knowledge. Yeah. But being a communist gave me what I was looking for in paganism community. Yeah. For real. And you don't have to be pagan too. Like, you just need to, like, being spiritual is like, you don't need to go into like a pagan community to like practice paganism though. You can practice paganism in Monacore. Yes, and those clowns are also obnoxiously loud and annoying. No, he's DSA. Okay. Dodecathists are all freakazoids, so I don't really interact with those people. Okay. Understandable. Hinkle and Has are ACP. I don't trust that Hinkle guy. I smell like controlled opposition. I feel like that guy's been compromised. People come here to see Mana read every chat. Okay. in random order. I don't know. Leave me alone. He's a friend of mine who does not take the ACP seriously at all and is appropriate. Who's your friend, Mike? Hinkle is also a CIA psyop. Yeah, I don't. He gives me the heebie-jeebies. I don't understand. Like, I can't explain it with like words, but I can feel like I can't trust him, you know? Like, there's something in my gut that tells me like, don't trust this guy, you know? It's just, I don't know, it's weird. I don't. I've felt that same heebie-jeebies from like right-wingers, you know? This is why most Mana streams are at least 3 hours. RCA are trots, ACP are Nazis? What? Posing as communists? DSA is social democrats who will backstab you at the earliest convenience. Yeah, I don't really trust like a lot of people in the DSA, but if there are some good eggs, but not like, you know, Christianity does lack whimsy. What I said. Pear and blue cheese on pizza? Blue cheese I can understand, but pear? So long as they don't indulge in all the science denialism Christianity does, I don't mind spiritualists. Yeah, I don't think that, like, for me, I still defer to science when it comes to like the mundane. You know, like for example, when I'm sick, like I'm still gonna I love medical science, okay? Like fuck me. I'm gonna go to a doctor to get a fucking prescription, you know? But there's like, you know, there are things that like that science just can't explain, or that science cannot satisfy for me, you know? And that's where I practice my spirituality. Because, again, you know, like at the end of the day, it's a personal practice. You know, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to subscribe to what I subscribe to when it comes to spirituality. Do nothing, win. Warm egg salad sounds good. No. Made it to where I can chat. Hello, Adorned. Are you gonna be good while, like, you know, like working and chatting? My favorite dongwa for comedy are Fabulous Beats, Fei Renzai, and All Saints Street. Lord of Mysteries is like an isekai in 1860s Europe. Marxist time with Lovecraftian horrors. Ooh, is a cultivation show too. Also a war between humans and AI, or as I call it, Marxist Matrix. And Capsule Project has individual stories with different art style. I can go on and on. But this is a wall of text already. I mean, can you recommend like just like the links for me, like in Mana Chat, because I want to check it out. Hinkle is an idiot and probably a Fed. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like him. I mean, I don't really know the bulk of what he does, but from the things that I've seen, it's just I'm not convinced. And yes, yeah, I have a feeling that he's a Fed. Hinkle has been on every political side of American discourse. Any group that associates with him is suspect as hell. Yeah, as all hell. Hinkle is a Fed. Dude went to Iran for the funeral and the US government didn't care. That's just downright confirmation. Yeah, it's really sus. Main problem with the DSA is the failed strategy of entryism. The last time you went live, I ended up falling asleep and waking up what? Waking up in a random live. Oh, damn, I'm sorry. Many Democratic Socialists spend their entire time talking about this or that electoral can. Yeah, I can't. I'm tired of it. The best advice I can give anyone when it comes to spirituality is find the God within. Yeah, exactly. Find the divine, because we all have that divinity in us, you know? As above, so below, as within, as so without, you know? Something like that. Razzle dazzle. Razzle dazzle on top. Yeah, ACP are a bunch of reactionary chauvinists LARPing as communists. And some of their members, like Haas, are either grifters or certifiably not right in the head. What is he doing, by the way? Like, I don't know like what these people are on, because I'm not really online like that. You know, I don't really know exactly what makes them not right in the head. Can you give me an example of what the fuck they were doing? I just know they're sus, like, from the clips that I've been seeing, but I'm like, I don't really know, like, what they're on, you know? What they do? Also, GZ, thank you for subscribing. Yes. And All Bear T-Watch, thank you for watching my streams for five streams in a row. Watching my channel. My shift haven't started yet, so I'm chilling in my car watching this. Oh, let's go! Lord of Mysteries is dope. I can second that. Oh, let's go. Also, first time in God knows how long I've been able to catch him on a stream. Hello, Neo. Yeah, I mean, I haven't been really streaming anyway, so, you know. Probably don't send free online watching links on stream. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna, you know, check that online. I'm gonna do it in my free time. I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to get a copyright strike. Hinkle is personal friends with Tulsi. Ew, what? Tulsi? It's pretty obvious. Yeah. Nah, no. Of course, I can send them immediately. Mana, do let me know if they're blocked by members only, though. I'm a member and I don't see it. No, the Mana chat. You know, the Mana chat. I don't think it's free for everyone. Also, welcome. Hello. Actually, what are you doing, Chris? My God, it's way too early for you, and you're already having this. You're already bringing this attitude. Actually. Hello, Mr. Shredder. Hinkle went on stream and explained the problem with Hitler actually was that he was a secret LGBTQ? What? How did he come up with that shit? What the fuck? As one example. Okay, alright, yeah, that's unhinged as fuck. What? Was a 3 days grace fan for a while until one of the members turned out to be a Trump supporter. Ew, what? Do they like dark Marxism? Made up reactionary nonsense. What is dark Marxism? What? What are these fuck shit? What? I'm glad I don't know who this Hinkle person is, because they sound doo-doo. Yep. I mean, I'm glad I don't really watch his shit either. But that's fucked up. What? Copyright risk, go burr. Streaming, watching links. I'm not a Catholic, but I did the walking pilgrimage across Spain called the Camino after a bad breakup, and I felt like the universe was speaking to me the entire time. Small nudges, like my hiking poles got stolen, and I found them at some hippie commune under a handwritten sign. Our greatest strength is controlling how we respond to things. Like, okay, I see you, and I won't kick this guy's ass. That's the best I can do. Yeah. That's your path, Deathy Kale. And I'm glad that you had that kind of like spiritual awakening, you know. But like everything else too though, like I'm very careful about like collective reading and shit like that, because like some people who are not like, you know, that's why grounding and energetic work is really important, because you kind of need to know, like, for example, when you do energetic work, you're sitting there and like doing your box breathing and like doing like just feeling your own energy. So that's how you know that you know, if there are other interferences of other people's energy, you know that it's not yours. That it's like when you're absorbing like, you know, too much like negative energy from other people, you know that it's not yours, because you know what your actual energy feels like when you're sitting, when you're familiar with your own energy. Like, oh, I'm sitting by myself, this is how my energy feels, this is how my train of thought is normally, you know. But that's when people who like don't even do their shadow work, they don't do like anything else, they don't do their research, they just like feel like everything is a sign. That's also not a good thing, you know, like, because that is like one you know, one way ticket to spiritual psychosis. So that's also not a good thing, you know, that the you've seen like, you know, 111, oh, that's a sign, or like a 333, 444, like angel numbers. Yeah, you know, no shit, you're on the internet, you're bound to see like multiple numbers of the same thing, you know, because you're on the internet, you know. And also like the algo of like certain apps are listening to our conversations. they're gonna the your For You page is gonna be riddled with the things that you're talking about, you know, or like the things that you've been researching about. So don't really like immediately believe that, oh, this message is for me, and you know, I must like cut off all of my cut off all contacts with all these people in order for me to achieve my spiritual like goals or whatever the fuck, you know. That's very dangerous, actually. That's why it's important to like do grounding practices, you know. And one of the best grounding practices is touching grass. Bitch, touch grass, okay? Not everything is a spiritual sign. And people think that everything is a sign. It's because you're not really actually dialing in with your own, you know, with your own energy, with your own like ancestors. That's why all the fuck shit comes to you. We are getting too much internet brain rot. Exactly. Oh my god. Try to focus on state and city level politics, because it feels more within reach to influence, keeping up with the PSL chapter nearby. I mean, Craig Bino, you do whatever you can to the best of your abilities, as long as it helps other people and you're in your community. Like at the end of the day, it's better that you do that than not do anything at all. You know? Deathy cat. Oh, Deathy cat. I don't know. I went on Mount Athos a long time ago. A beautiful place, but I didn't get any spiritual vibes. I mean, if you go to places in hopes for like in hopes to get like any like spiritual whatever the fuck, you're not gonna get it. Manage your expectations, Platinum. sometimes these things can be like, it can happen. Spiritual like awakenings or experiences can happen in the least you expect it, and in the most like what, like you can get a spiritual awakening in a back alley. You know what I mean? It's not just that, But I would say that, going on a nature walk is just top tier experience. Regardless of spiritual whatever the fuck, Doesn't matter. Nature is still, nature is still goated. Going up on a mountain and experiencing like nature silence can be a transformative experience, spiritual. Exactly what I said, right, Craig? I do believe that. But, someone who's, been practicing my spirituality, like, it's only been like 4 months actually that I've taken my spiritual path seriously. But now that everything around me, I appreciate. I'm starting to appreciate the air, the trees, the grass. Like, it's nice. I like being here, Even though the world sucks, like, I still appreciate the fact that I can still breathe air and not have to pay for it. You know what I mean? Like, we still have air, free air. Fuck. Imagine, in the future when our techno-feudal lords finally, could harness, like... Hopefully it doesn't get to that. Hopefully the collective, the people will be able to take back nature. You gotta take it back from them. Do not let them commodify air as well. Fucking hell. Lindsay, also, Mana, I meant that Bilibili shows can be locked behind a paywall and you cannot view it on YouTube. Let me know if you can't see any without paying. Oh, okay. Chat GPT told me 6'7", and I should only talk to it and cut off contact with my friends and family. Must be fate. 6'7". Chat GPT is a Scientologist. There's such a thing as spiritual white noise, which needs to be recognized as such. Yeah, you say that, but I went to Marx's grave and that was a spiritual moment. Oh, yeah, because like I said it before, ancestral veneration is not just limited to the ancestors that you're related to. Ancestors can also be, of affinity. Like, if you want to do ancestral work and you don't want to do anything, if you don't know any of your ancestors, you can start with like venerating marks. That's what they do in the DPRK. They venerate their ancestors. Like, they venerate like Kim Il Sung. That's their ancestor. Their revolutionary ancestor. That's like and also Mao. Like you see the red square. That's how they venerate their ancestor. Because Mao is their ancestor. I'm gonna start. I'm working with my blood ancestors, but I think I also want to put like an altar for my ancestors of affinity. So I'm gonna start like putting up an altar for like the revolutionaries. Because we absolutely can do that, You can venerate the Marxist, revolutionaries. The commies. You can absolutely do that. There is such a thing as spiritual white noise, which needs to be... Yes. I had something the same, but different when happened to be nearby the Bush family grave. Oh, for real? Like a spiritual experience, like a creepy experience? Cue the canned air Spaceballs clip. Hell no. Antifa groupie, hello. 6'7". I hate that. Banger first time chat. Welcome, by the way. 69 will forever be funnier than 67. To force those eureka moments, you gotta go gambling. You gotta go to the gambling route. There's like 0.25% chance every time you do something spiritual to get those moments. Hello, new guy. First message. Hello. First chatter. And this is canon. Yeah, unforgettable luncheon. Very interesting topic I stumbled upon. Yeah, actually, there's really not like a unified topic. We are just yapping here. Arkomi Oshi, exactly. You can absolutely do that. And I mean, not only like, oshikatsu, but like in a spiritual way. You can absolutely do that. That got me wondering where Stalin's grave is and if I would be able to leave flowers. Yes, you can. Yeah, I think a lot of people do that. They leave a bunch of like carnations. There's one imp who Russian imp who sent me a message on VK. I talked to him once in a while, and he sent me a picture of like when he went to like Stalin's grave, and he left like a bunch of like, there are a lot of people left a bunch of what do you call this, red carnations on his grave. My bad. Mount Athos is like a deeply historical monastic community. So it's like the place a lot of people go to get in touch with their spirituality. But yeah, it was a great experience. My favorite metal band, Six Heaven. Six Heaven. There's that's actually pretty smart. I might write a song that's called Six Heaven. Six Heaven. There was a cosmism movement in Central and South America that venerated revolutionaries and made Marx and Lenin a saint. Lol, but also salute. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, you can actually like do that. You can make them your ancestors. If you don't know your ancestors, if you have like problematic ancestors that you don't really have the time to like help heal. Yeah, just go to the revolutionary ancestors. They are our ancestors, actually. They are the people that laid the foundations of our philosophy, So yes, they are absolutely our ancestors, as well. On the topic of ancestor worship, I went on a trip to France for school trip once and saw the graves of some of my extended family members who died during World War I. Who are your ancestors? Like, what country? Oh, France. Okay. You're French? Only if you're male, then they don't let women anywhere near it. Oh, for real? Don't jump off subject, but not to jump off subject, but I got an email that Mini Mana is almost ready and got excited all over again. Let's go. Yeah, I think a lot of people got a bunch of email today. Well, at least in Russia, the heap of garbage Stalin said would be thrown on his grave was blown away by the winds of history. Gorby is rolling in his grave. Fuck him. Yeah. Can't wait for the original song, Six Heaven. Six Heaven. My problematic ancestor are still alive. Wait, that can't be your ancestor if they're still alive. I think that goes for all of us. Yeah, I don't think they're... yeah. You gotta kill them first. Then they become your ancestor. Same, I got the email plushie as well. Let's go! I think I got it too. I haven't really read it yet. Also, Adorn, thank you for subscribing to tier 3. Let's go. Deus, thank you for subscribing. Deus VX. Hell yeah. Me too. I'm excited to give it to my mom. Because she's been waiting for it. Oh, no, England. Okay. Our ancestors, comrade. Our ancestors. Yes, they are our ancestors. Absolutely. Like, Actually, you know what? Yeah, that just gave me an idea. I'm gonna pray to our ancestors. Our revolutionary ancestors. Praying my shipment doesn't get stolen. I hope so too. My god, I want you to get that plushie. Do you have a suggestion on subbing here versus YouTube? Which one gives boss more money, if you know? Usually the memberships on YouTube would give me more money because the Twitch doesn't really Twitch like takes like 50% away, but for YouTube it's like they take 30% away and I get 70%. With these plushies, I shall fund the revolution. Let's go. I mean, in a way, like the revenue that I get from like, you know, streaming and from my music and stuff, I usually like leave a portion of get a portion of it and then send it to my friend Simo in Gaza. So in a way, yes, I'm in my own way. That's like my way of materially supporting, you know, a friend in need undergoing a G-side, you know? Yeah, 50%. Yeah, Twitch takes away 50% of our earnings. Meanwhile, on YouTube, well, you know, they give us like 70%. Hope so too. I'll send you a plushie personally if so. Let's go! What about Ko-Fi? Is that viable? I don't have a Ko-Fi or a coffee. I'll remain on YouTube. Oh, let's go. I think it really depends. Like, for example, like if I have a lot of subscribers on Twitch, like if I reach to a point where, for example, I have like 30k followers and like, I don't know, like 1,000 subscribers, that's still a lot of money, you know? But for now, I'm not big here yet, so yet. Hopefully, I mean, I'm trying to like, you know, stream more so that I can build my Twitch up more, you know. Who knows? Who knows what's in store for me in the future, as long as I keep grinding and stuff like that, you know? You'll never know what you get. So, with that said, for now, like, YouTube is still very much, like, the most, like, lucrative for me. Start grinding at that Left 4 Dead and you'll hit 100k in no time. I've had paranormal stuff happen to me. My grandma's house is from 1926 and I've been hit in the basement by nothing. Something talking to me and other stuff I could go on. Oh, yo! What is going on with your haunted house? With your grandma's haunted house? That's pretty interesting. Hello, Desio. Desio. I've been putting like cooling sheets on my skin because my allergies are like flaring up, and the only way I can like feel like relief is like putting cooling sheets on it. And then they go away and then they come back again because I'm still like I think I need to like up the dosage on my antihistamines. So we'll see if like they come back with a vengeance if once my antihistamines have run out. My dad was once arguing with his brother back in the 80s at his parents' place. And then all the board games flew off the shelves, seemingly for no reason. They stopped arguing and quietly put it... Yeah. No, I don't think it's allergies, it's hives. It's spontaneous hives. It's the same thing that I've been dealing with. It might be CSU. Chronic spontaneous urticaria or something. Because it's been like, it's gonna be like... It's gonna be, next week is gonna be the 6th week for this, so. And I've been on this medication and it's helped, but then new ones spring up again. So I think I need a stronger antihistamine. Don't know why the house is haunted. All I do know is it was built in 1926 and it's 100 years old. Yeah. Ayo, Mana and chat. Hello, Tiberius. Yes, I finally caught up with chat. Let's go. And it's 12 a.m. After what? An hour and a half, I finally caught up with chat. Let's go. I did it. Okay, now we can watch the video. Now we can finally watch that freaking video. Let's watch the insanely evil Japanese company explodes overnight. Cause it's shorter. Let's watch that one.
の展示台数を誇ることだ。
ビッグモーターの不正請求問題です。
クリーンで明るい店内はこれまでの中古車販売の油臭いイメージを払拭する。
ライバル企業の社員を暴行したとしてビッグモーター社員の男が逮捕されました。
仕事の信念は
誠実ということですね。
代表取締役社長を辞任することといたしました。
This is the story of how a billion-dollar Japanese business imploded overnight.
Damn.
If you've ever been to Japan, you've probably seen this sign. They're the largest used car dealership and repair chain in the country. They're everywhere. Big Motor, or as they say it in Japan, started as a single store in Yamaguchi, but now boasts over 300 locations. Despite its near billion-dollar valuation, Big Motor is still a family business ran by this guy who founded the company in 1976. But as he started to age, he had a very difficult decision to make. Who would succeed him at his company? After years of deliberation, he followed in the footsteps of many other powerful leaders and chose the most qualified candidate.
Okay.
Nah, just kidding. He hired his son. Who wouldn't
Why are they like, nah, I don't like this. Because they're showing, you know, it's the same as North Korea. Ooh, nepotism.
hire this guy? At the start, this actually seemed like the best business decision ever. Big Motor had been around for 35 years, but they'd never seen growth like this. Koichi's hiring brought Big Motor into a new golden age. Within 3 years, the company doubled in size. This made Daddy happy, so as a treat, he promoted Koichi to vice president. And over the following years, the insane growth only continued. Whatever Koichi was doing, it was working. But some negative Nancys did start asking questions like, how can a business sustain such insane growth? And what is Koichi doing that's so effective? Well, it's a little business trick called widespread fraud. In 2023, a video leaked showing a Big Motor garage manager teaching an employee how to pop customers' tires. They would only pop one, but say the tires must all be worn and sell a full new set of 4, netting
What?
12,000 yen. Now, you must be asking, why would anyone be dumb enough to film something so blatantly illegal? Well, it was actually self-study material. At the same time Big Motor was creating problems just to solve them, they were actually only pretending to solve customers' real problems. A leaked screenshot from an internal group chat showed an employee saying things like, "Just tell them you changed their oil, it'll be fine." These leaks got people talking, which encouraged other ex-employees to share their stories. It quickly became clear that Big
crazy.
Motor wasn't run by Lex Luthor, it was run by Mr. Krabs.
Hello, I like money.
But that was just the tip of the iceberg. Things were about to get a lot worse for Big Motor. Look at this lot before Big Motor moved in. Now look at it after. Notice a difference?
Damn.
What about this one? Japanese internet detectives started noticing that trees all over the country started to mysteriously wither and die when they were blocking the view of Big Motor's beautiful used cars. The Tokyo government investigated and, to no one's surprise, found plant killer in 9 of 14 Big Motor soil samples from the city. Big Motor killed so many trees that they were caught red-handed multiple times by the Google Maps car.
I cannot believe it.
Apparently, Daddy's little boy was so obsessed with making his used cars visible from the street that he would go around to each Big Motor location
Nobody
and
gives a
demote
fuck about
managers
your
who had
stupid
plants growing
used
outside.
cars, bitch. If people want your used cars, they would go to you. You
The
don't
tree
have
killing
to
was
like.
so absurd that it even inspired
Oh my God.
cosplayers.
Damn.
But it doesn't just
Oh my-
end there. If you think killing trees is crazy, let me tell you, this guy was a real piece of work. The worst thing that could happen to you while working at Big Motor is to hear that Koichi was coming. This happened multiple times per year, and it meant that everyone needed to stay at work until 3 a.m. the night before getting the
No
store ready.
fucking way,
When his
dude.
car pulled up, everyone needed to greet him in a loud voice. One employee told a story that when his manager went out for the greeting,
Such a
Koichi was
small
relieving
man
himself in the
syndrome.
parking lot facing nearby residences and got mad at the
Okay.
manager for interrupting him. His standards were insane. One manager was demoted for a cigarette butt found in the gutter outside. You could be fired for having an unclean desk. He would
That's
obsessively check your sales
insanity.
numbers and your Google reviews. So when inspection day
Google
came,
reviews.
employees would be working overtime solving CAPTCHAs all night. Because you really didn't want to get on Koichi's naughty list. And no,
my
that's
God,
not just
dude.
an expression. He had a group chat with all 300 store managers where he would rank each store's sales and shame poor performers.
Oh my
Some
God.
logs have been leaked from these group chats. They're pretty crazy. The worst, but also most memed one is this one where he just keeps saying,
教育教育教育死刑死刑死刑
What?
教育教育教育死刑死刑死刑死刑教育教育教育
やっぱりビッグが一番車を売るならビッグモーター。
教育魂死刑死刑死刑死刑死刑
That's
死刑死
fucking
刑
insane. That's like actual. What the fuck? What? This guy needs help. What is he so? Is he so obsessed and surpassing his dad's legacy that he does this for the heck of it? Like, I don't understand. Small man syndrome.
Koichi set an insane target of 140,000 yen per vehicle repair job. Yes, any customer at Big Motor was expected to spend at least $1,000 fixing their vehicle. This created a toxic work environment that pitted managers against employees. In this leaked photo, a Big Motor manager tied a phone to his employee's head with elastic bands to punish him for not making enough sales calls, then posted the picture in the group chat to
That's
make fun of
actually
him.
fucking
Here,
insane.
a Big Motor employee's ID badge was heavily vandalized by his manager, who wrote
fuck?
insults all over it. Okay, surely that's
Jesus
all of it, right?
Christ.
Big Motor fakes repairs, kills trees, and abuses their employees. What else could
My
they even
God.
do at this point? Well, if you gotta give him something, Big Motor managers are very creative. One of their signature tricks was to use customers' personal information to impersonate them, call around to rival shops, and cancel all appointments under that name.
What?
Another clever trick was to sell cars to their own employees. Joining Big Motor was like pledging to a fraternity, and the hazing ritual was buying a car. You want a stressful sales job with an abusive boss where you could get fired at any moment? Sure. The only requirement is a 10-year loan with 9% interest on a used car.
That's fucking
An ex-employee was on the news saying that his boss gave him 30 minutes to buy a car or he was fired.
No way,
All
dude.
of these money-making
What?
and cost-cutting tricks helped Koichi inflate Big Motor's sales over the years. But all of it pales in comparison to the main scam, the one that truly helped them become a billion-dollar player. When this manager was popping tires, he wasn't actually selling them to the customers. He was billing them to the insurance companies.
写真写りが考えなきゃいけないんですよ。ここに刺して、ここから取ったら溝があるような感じ。
When the customer had
What?
insurance, Big Motor always milked the job for as much as they could. They knew the most expensive things to damage to jack up the bill. They would use sharp objects to extend scratches, draw in damage with chalk, use candles and sandpaper to damage the car, and put a golf ball in a sock and use that to whack the car, increasing
What
the
the
size of
fuck?
dents. This made people see these old Big Motor ads in a whole new light.
Oh my
Someone even started selling Big Motor new employee starter kits online.
Plant killer.
Seriously though, a question you might have is, don't insurance companies
meme
pay
at this
inspectors to
point,
stop this
apparently.
kind of fraud? How were they deceived so easily by golf balls, sandpaper, and screwdrivers?
Jesus.
Well, that's the most important question of this video. Let's talk about car insurance in Japan. There are three major players, Tokyo Marine, Mitsui Sumitomo, and Sompo Japan. And in 2021, a whistleblower approached them and told them exactly what Big Motor was doing. Concerned, the insurance companies asked Big Motor what was going on. Big Motor took this very seriously. They asked the most competent detective they knew to look into it. Yeah, they investigated themselves. Big Motor quickly came back with their
We
conclusions.
investigated ourselves
it's
and
just a few
found
overworked
ourselves
employees
not
making
guilty.
mistakes. It's not coordinated. Sompo Japan reviewed the report and agreed with the conclusions?
Oh my god.
What? How? Well, let's just say that Sompo and Big Motor had a few mutual interests.
Oh, shit.
By mutual
Yeah.
interests, I mean Sompo was the biggest shareholder outside of
Oof.
CEO Hiroyuki. And second,
Oh.
before Daddy brought Koichi into Big Motor, he had him work at Sompo for a year. And when Koichi moved to Big Motor, he brought 37 Sompo
shit.
employees with him. So clearly they were more than just friends. But their relationship goes deeper than that. Ex-employees claim that Sompo and Big Motor had a secret agreement. Sompo would overlook Big Motor's suspicious insurance claims, and in return, Big Motor would prioritize selling Sompo over the other two insurance companies. Customers generally don't care who provides their insurance as long as they have it. The 37 employees actually helped with this. A representative from Sompo taught our staff how to photograph damage to make it look worse, including tips like capturing scratches from certain angles to make them appear deeper. Over 40% of Big Motor's insurance repairs were fraudulent. This netted Big Motor 10 billion yen
My
over
God.
5 years. So in the end, everyone won except for the customer whose premiums were going
Arasaka.
up due to the larger than necessary insurance claims. Anyways, when Sompo agreed with Big Motor's no-fault conclusion, it set off some red flags for the other two insurance companies who started their own investigations. Obviously, they found tons of fraud. They tried to report it to the public in 2022, but Big Motor retaliated. A leaked email showed that they immediately gave an order to stop selling insurance for the other two companies. This all came out in July, and it's still dominating the news cycle today. Japanese people were furious because they finally understood why their insurance rates have been going up so much recently. On July 25th, Hiroyuki held a press conference where he apologized and said he didn't know the extent of what was going on. He announced both him and his son were stepping down, but Koichi hasn't appeared in public or apologized even once since this scandal broke. You can probably tell that because I only have 2 videos and 1 picture of him. But yeah, his dad has completely taken the fall. By the way, the most impactful moment of this press conference was when Hiroyuki was talking about how employees were caught using golf balls in socks to damage cars. For some reason, he thought it was a good idea to say, that is sacrilegious to golf lovers everywhere.
冒涜です。
It's like, bro, are you trying to make a joke during your apology for insurance fraud?
Damn. Damn. What the
Anyways,
fuck?
since the scandal broke, it's been bad news after bad news for Big Motor. Their profits are way down because nobody in their right mind would trust them with their car. 4 Big Motor locations have already closed. The new CEO is scrambling to put out fires, including a Big Motor employee making headline news for assaulting a rival company employee. The FSA, Japan's equivalent of the SEC, announced massive investigations into both Big Motor and Sompo. Police forces all over Japan have already raided 21 Big Motor locations, including their head office, for tree killing, confiscating tons of cardboard boxes worth of stuff, including shovels, weed eaters, and leaf blowers. One of the largest concerns regarding this whole affair was, how would it affect the Japanese economy overall? Big Motor was the largest in the used car market, but what about their competitors? How could they compete if they weren't fraudulent too? And just how complicit were the insurance companies? Well, on September 6th, it was revealed that Next Stage, the number 2 in the used car market, was just as fraudulent as Big Motor. Their CEO resigned on the 11th. That's not all.
Why does he look like that? His eyebrows.
Another competitor called Good Speed was exposed as well. As for the insurance companies, the CEO of Sompo held a press conference on the 8th and admitted that he continued working with Big Motor despite knowing about their fraud. He resigned that day. This story is still developing, so if you guys want, I can post updates in my Discord. Thanks
My God, what the fuck?
for watching, and thanks.
Thank you, Japanalysis. Okay, what do we have in the chat right now? Friday night for me. Let's go. How did you decide to become a musician? Like, you always wanted to and studied at music school? No, I don't know any music theory. Surprise, surprise. I just I was involved in the hardcore scene since I was like 12. 13. Yeah, I watched like shows and stuff like that, and I had a band when I was like in high school, college. And after college, I disbanded, like I left, and then, we disbanded actually. And yeah, after writing like 2 EPs and shit. But I didn't think that I would be able to. I didn't think that I would be making music again after that. Because, like, to me, I'm a very pragmatic person, and I used to think, like, yeah, I could never really make any money from, like, doing music or whatever the fuck, like, in any creative, like, endeavor and whatever. But life has a different plan. Like, life had a different plan, so, like, it's, I don't know. That came to it went full circle when I discovered VTubing, or like V-singing actually, because I was never really interested in streaming in the first place back then. I was more interested in like the music aspect of like having like a character and using that character to like have your own identity that's like separate from your real life identity, and like release music under that pseudonym and stuff like that. I didn't go to music school. I don't know anything about theory. It's just vibes. Like, the way I write music is vibes, and eventually, like, you get to, the more that you do it, the more that you you learn how to like find like melodies that fit certain parts, and like the words that flow better, because you keep on doing it. The only way to get better at something is doing it a lot. So yeah, that's all I can say about that. First time chat. Hello, Dayquil Lava. Heard you had allergies. No, it's not allergies. More like an autoimmune response, because it's hives. I had like an allergy test, and they found that I wasn't really exposed to any allergens. So it's like a stress-induced like hives. Anti-communism. He'd be rocking a bird's nest. Yeah, the guy. This video has a bit of liberalism in the brain. Yeah. I didn't like that they used that, you know, because the Kim family is nothing like that Nepo family. Unfortunately, it's time for me to go for work now. Bye, Mana and Ims. Congrats on the Twitch anniversary, Mana. Here's to many more years on Twitch. Thank you, Adorned. Unless, you know, unless Twitch is gonna, you know, fall apart and shit. People just can't help themselves. What are we, a bunch of commies when they see the most capitalism and fascist shit ever? Yeah. I mean, it's all just, you know, what do you call this? Projection. Every accusation is a fucking confession. Adam Smasher did it. Watch streak reached. Let's go, Citron. 3 stream streak. Let's go. Din Dobry. Hello, everyone. This shit would never happen in China. I hope not. Bro looks like New Lie. Capitalists all have a look. Yeah, bro looked like he wore a mask. Insurance, the biggest scam. For real. People have such interesting lives. Life is like a river. It carries us in a direction, but within that direction, you choose where to go. Yeah. V singing sounds weird as fuck. Yeah, I mean virtual singing. That's like I'm a virtual singer, you know? Cuz I don't do live concerts. That's it is what it is, you know? It is what it says. It's like the job description is just, you know, the same. Virtual singing. I wonder what Mana would sound like if she tried Mongolian throat singing. I had to learn that actually. But I didn't push through to the point where I could do it. Like, I just needed to like learn that technique to like be able to activate my false chords. But I want to do that actually. I want to improve it better so that I can actually do it on command. What are you describing? What you're describing when you get more experience is music theory, though. I guess, you know, but it's not like formal education or like formal learning. Like, oh, this is C or A. Like, I don't know. I just know that it sounds good, or something sounds good in something, you know. I don't know. I can't explain it. It's just vibes. Like it told you, it's vibes. I can't explain it. Falling asleep to stream again. Yeah, go to bed, dude. The fuck? Old man windbreaker, let's go! Thank you for subscribing for 3 months. Happy anniversary, Mana. Here's some more fruitful years ahead. Thank you. I know my country is is collapsing in my lifetime, at least from its current spot on the top. What country are you from, Craig? Live concerts are harder to do. Yeah, it's a lot of preparation as well. Event planning is a nightmare. You can build intuition both from self-teaching and from formal education. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm doing. When it comes to music, I'm self-taught. I mean, I'm self-taught in a lot of things. Yo, you said Dzień dobry, Dzień dobry, very correctly, for real? That was Polish, and this language is very hard for people, so I'm impressed. Oh, yeah, I know. Polish is like you have so many consonants. Can you buy a vowel, Polish people? What the fuck? Marxism, yapkalism. Yes, I'm Yokai yaps to you about dialectics, sleep aid, ASMR. my apps are like sleep aid though, because my voice isn't really that like gentle. My voice is pretty much like grating to the ears. It's meant to like make you irritated so that you can get agitated enough to like organize. Any resources, suggestions for beginning metal vocal journey? As insanely awesome as Will Ramos is, I don't know if I want to pay $300 for vocal classes. You don't need to to pay $300. Like, you could pay half of that if you go to my teacher. My teacher has like a $150 a month. I find it pleasant. Grating? No, certainly not. Thank you, guys. But for me, I don't really like my voice. I don't like my spoken voice, actually. I don't think anybody likes... I'm not sure, but most people that I know of, they don't really like their spoken voice. But it sounds different in my skull. I don't know. The resonance is not resonating for me. Imagine you fall asleep to a Mana stream and when you wake up, you see Mana doing the freaky ass tongue. Not to mine. Okay, I mean, I appreciate you guys appreciating my voice, at least. Same constant poverty occasionally affects us Slovenes. Oh, you're Slovenian. Okay. This is a legit word. Okay, what is that? How do you say that? Kmerlj. Smurlj. Oh, wait. Is it smurlj? Slursh. I'm sorry. Your talking voice is nice, in my opinion. Thank you, Piotr. And you're not just saying that because I'm your boss, right? I'm in the good old United States of America. I cringe if I listen to myself. Know the feel. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I know that feel, Besilis. My voice is annoying, I feel like, but people say they like it, so I don't beat myself. I don't really beat myself up for it, but I prefer not to listen to my own voice. You know what I mean? Disliking recording of one's voice is common. Limitations of Henri being able to record sounds outside the skeleton, I guess. Yeah, it's because hearing it is uncanny. It causes dissonance. I'm somewhat used to my recorded voice, but I'm also trans, so I still dislike it. To me, personally, I don't hate it, but I don't like it. It's just like, it's my voice, and I prefer not to listen to it. If I could, I don't really like listening to my voice. Chris just jumped to chat to tell me oi when I did the freaky ass tongue. Freaky ass. Chimru? Why is that Chimru? It's literally CMRLJ. How is that Chimru? Where's the vowel? Damn. Lamau, bro. No, I know glaze. Okay. Hello, Mr. Cheese. I hope you're doing well. Thank you, Zetter. Oh, wait. You're not asking me if I'm doing well. You're asking Mr. Cheese. Okay, then. How do you listen to your recordings then? I mean, I listen to it objectively. It's like, oh shit, my tuning in this part is fucked up. So timestamp. Yeah, I don't really like what I'm telling you guys, I'm not listening to my voice for enjoyment. I'm listening to it because I'm working. Okay? It's a job. So how am I supposed to like comp my own vocals? Because I record myself, so obviously I have to listen to my voice over and over again to pick out the best take and then compile it into one, one long stem. Send it to my to June or Chris, whoever is available. They tune it for me, and then I listen to it again to make sure that my voice meets the standard of, the tuned standard. Because unfortunately, the recording standards these days is just very much like very high, It requires a lot of, checking and rechecking again, especially if you have to do it yourself. If I hear my own voice, I start talking in slow motion. Monitoring is impossible for me. Yeah, like it's yeah. That's why I don't listen to my own voice like in the headphones. I turn it off. Still crazy that your model got that tongue tracking. Yeah, I know, right? It's really, the details are insane too. Let me show you. Freaky. Yeah. I can't stand the sound of my voice. Timestamp. Mana, because Mr. Cheese is a mixer. I don't see you mixing cake batter out here. Okay, the fuck? Your voice and especially your laugh sounds wonderful. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. This is how I laugh in real life too. Like this is how I talk in real life as well. I don't really have a streamer voice because it's tiring. I can't, like, as you can see, I go on tangents for like how long, One can only put that mask on for too long until like it slips, and there's really no point in having a streamer voice if I'm bound to like yap for hours anyway. So it's better that I can just talk comfortably and I don't have to like pretend to sound like something else. I'm just kidding. How are you, Mana? Also, hello, Ems. Hello, Zetter. I hope you're having a good day. Well, I can't sit the sound of your voice, so we'll have to meet in the middle at the like a half squat. What? Oh, you're talking to Larry. Right. Also, you get used to it. Yeah, that's true. I put my Adidas track jacket on first. Hello, Leisha Yoon. Welcome, first time chatter. Making me think of Gold Ship from Uma Musume because there's a video called When the Horse Starts Tweaking. And Gold Ship does the tongue thing in that animation too. Yeah, Gold Ship is something else. Like the real Gold Ship, like horse and his what do you call this? His offspring are something else. Are totally something else. They're quite different. They're very much, main character coded. You don't want to end up sounding like Axl Rose. My own voice is my streamer voice, and I run out of breath easily and strange throat. I don't really run into that problems because I know how to breathe in order to like be able to like produce a sustainable spoken voice. I don't know, it's just like that's like how like I project my spoken voice. So even though I'm in a relaxed position, I still like my body automatically just does the thing because I've been doing that for the longest time, and that's just literally the only way I can speak. Because if I speak in a different way, that's just not sustainable for me. You can't slab squat without your track jacket on. That's true. What are you guys talking about in the chat? I love you, Mana. Alicia, you hello. Thank you so much for dropping by and sharing the love. Ball knower, yeah. Elite ball knowledge. All horses are insane. I mean, especially Gold Ship, though. Wait, if the racehorses Uma Musume is based on are all men, and in the game anime they're all women, does that make them all trans? I mean, technically, I just watched your cover of Afterlife, and in my humble opinion, it's better than the original. Hello, Gregoru VT? Thank you for the compliment, but I do believe that the original is still better. My version is like, yeah, it's my own version, but I wouldn't say that it's better than the original. I don't know. I'm iffy about that because that's not my goal. I just do the cover because I want to put my own twist on it. But if you think that like you prefer listening to it, then I appreciate it. But I think it's a moot point to make comparisons because it's just different, I just took it and then made it sound a little bit different from the original. So we should always pay respect to the original, I believe. Working a call center job really improved my vocal cords because I'm just sitting here and yapping for 4 hours to 100 different people. Damn. Yeah, that would strengthen your endurance as well. Mana is alarmingly up to date on chat. Everyone post faster. Also, what did you learn to scream from? $100. From. Well, basically, I knew how to scream when I was like in a band back then, but like I had like a very long hiatus that I forgot how to scream. So the way that I got back my mojo back, and I believe that he would help you. He would be able to help you is to go to. I went to Cardavox Academy. And Mark, the main teacher for the screams, is a very good teacher. He's very nice, he's very kind, and very understandable, and he will meet you halfway. So whatever your skill level is, like, it doesn't matter because he will help you regardless, My voice is soft, and when I am trying to be polite, I pitch it slightly higher. So on the phone, I occasionally get mistaken for a woman. If I were insecure, I'd be upset. Fortunately, I'm not. I can't carry a tune in a bucket though. Yeah, I mean, like in Japan too, like for salespeople, they have to pitch up their voice because that just sounds more polite. But there are like some people take it to extremes, and it's just like, a pick-me voice. We call it like a buriko. It's like very like the Japanese version of a pick-me. It's a Japanese pick-me. I prefer your voice. Thank you. I'm in the secret fourth type of imp that didn't know Mana scream until I saw a random clip of her practicing. Oh yeah, that's true. But then again, you're not you didn't know that I was doing shit online. I was stunned it came from you. When I was in a band, Casual Flex. I mean, if you were involved in the hardcore scene for as long as I have been, you're gonna be bound to have a band. You're gonna want to start something for yourself. So that's what I did, and I did it. But I also stopped for a long time, so I needed to get back to the thing, And definitely Mark helped me just, find the balance that's sustainable for me, because I have to record and I stream, and my job is very public facing, so I can't public facing, so I have to like learn how to do vocal rest, to vocal care, shit like that, Customers call me sporty because I conversate like a normal person, unless it's old people, then I do high pitch, which makes me run out of breath faster. I'm more like a comrade. Yeah, I know. True, I'm not really imp. Yeah, because like we knew each other before I became Mana, Much like Comrade Nikki is not an imp because she already knew who I am. Over time, and we've been, connected ever since. Over time, my voice has become higher just because I have used a polite voice so much. Yeah, that happens in Japanese. Juche Papa. What? That sounds like a pizza brand. Juche Papa. How may I help you? I used to scream in a metal band years ago. Let's go. Why aren't you screaming anymore, Larry? I'm no English Espanol. What kind of metal we talking, comrade? Holy shit, I'm awake to catch a monastery. Let's go, Mark. Been a while, dude. What's up? Oh, grindcore. Damn, you were in a grindcore band? Just casually drop in like lore. Why aren't you doing more? You should do more grindcore, dude. What? That's crazy. I also have a customer service voice that's much more formal and a little higher than the average voice, and I enunciate way more. Yeah, I hate enunciating like more than I should. I don't like customer service voice. I'd love some Juche pizza. Juche Papa, how may I help you? I have a side of workers' rights and a lot of communism. Yeah, that's true. I used to play guitar a lot more too. Damn! Why you stop, dude? What the fuck? Mine is fully caught up with the chat. This is a momentous occasion. Yeah, this is true. I finally caught up. I should do more. It's the ADHD though. That's fine. It can be managed. It's okay. Just scream and do more music. Comrade Larry is a triple threat. Ear docs have the loudest voices, dog. I swear to God. What do you mean ear dog? Ear doctors? Okay. All right, let's watch this one because I finally caught on chat. Yeah.
Over on patreon.com/.
A leftist history of Japan. Let's go.
When you think of Japanese history, what comes to mind?
Yes, it has. Life been good. Still making covers. Still writing music. Just doing my part in keeping human art alive. Let's go, yeah. We must not be defeated by fucking AI. Like, I've seen a lot of like people like call themselves musicians, and then I look at their page and it's just like, what? Everything you have is like written by Suno. The fuck? That's not your music. You are not an artist. The fuck? Shut up. Pick up a microphone or a guitar.
You may think of glorified stories of heroic samurai or mythic emperors, or perhaps their more recent history of ultranationalism and colonialism. But I bet you didn't know that Japan actually has one of the longest histories of socialism in East Asia.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, in the early 20th century, the world expected Japan to be the first country on the continent to have a socialist revolution. Crazy, right? Ever since then, the state has done basically everything in its power to bury that leftist tradition.
Yeah.
On top of that, the Japanese left has always been kind of messy. There was constant infighting and endless theoretical debates, which led to intense factionalism. It's not a clean, revolutionary kind of tale, but a jumbled mess of splinter organizations and theoretical disputes. But it's still fascinating, and today I want to talk about it. In this video, we're going to cover secret societies, Japanese Bolsheviks, and militant internationalists based in the Middle East. So stick around to the end of this video if you want to learn about all of it. Before we get started into the nitty-gritty of the Japanese left, I need to give you all some historical context. From 1600 to 1868, a series of military dictators and vassal leaders ruled Japan. Most historians consider this era to be part of Japan's feudal period, since the bulk of the economy still relied on agriculture and few ports were open to trade. In 1868, a coalition of samurai, a couple clans, and Emperor Mitsuhito ended up overthrowing the military government, installing a new form of political leadership.
This photo of the Meiji Restoration is really funny to me because the guy in the middle was trying so hard to aura farm.
They opened up their country.
Aura farm. I prefer an awful song that's made by a human to a decent AI song. Yeah, no, I would rather have like an untuned vocal, but it's like, you know, sang by a human being. Also, modern Japanese Communist Party is basically center left. Yeah, it's they've lost their bite. It's just, they're just communists in name only. Japanese Red Army, let's go. AI could never recreate the feeling of a Black Flag song or Dead Pioneers. Yeah. Shigenobu Sakumention. Yeah.
To trade with the West and ended up industrializing rapidly. I'm talking 30 to 40 years, which compared to England's 150 to 200 years is pretty impressive. The speed of this transition.
Is this video made by a leftist channel or history channel? I'm not sure if she's leftist.
Was achieved because Japan was late to the game.
But somebody sent it in the chat, so I wanted they wanted me to like to watch this.
So they could take notes on how other countries were able to industrialize. Looking towards Europe and the Americas, state leaders observed that they needed food to grow their population, raw materials to produce commodities, and a capitalist class that could generate revenue for the state. So they extracted surplus from the countryside to feed the urban working class and fund monopolies to work both domestically and abroad, where they had more access to resources. But this development mainly...
I mean, you know, anybody could like dress like that, and it's just cosplay at the end of the day sometimes. Some people do that, so yeah, let's see what she says. If whatever she says here in the video like indicates that she's like remotely leftist, then she must be leftist, you know. She might be leftist. I remember seeing a comment of a brain rot video saying that they were concerned that the video was AI slop and relieved when they found out that it was a human-made slop. Yeah, more of a historian, but non-biased and learned a lot of things didn't know. Okay.
Benefited the growing state and not regular civilians. Feudal workers just became wage laborers that worked for capitalist bosses instead of...
So I guess the fit is more like reflective of the topic that she's doing. So whatever.
Feudal lords. And most of their money was being funneled into an imperialist project across Asia. The rigid social hierarchy wasn't changed. Companies were structured on a Confucianist familial hierarchy. Managers used the oyakata system, which derived its authority from paternalism, to keep order in the factories.
There's no such, to me, the JCP has Marxism at its core, but there is a strategy now based on fear. There's no such thing as unbiased. There's nothing completely unbiased. But I guess what they're trying to say is it's more, a little bit more kind of like less sensationalist, hopefully. Bakami posters on the wall, roof of the attic. Sorry, only organic, ethically made human slop for me. Thanks.
And mines. Capitalists contracted young women and girls to work in textile mills, but all their wages went to their fathers. Workers of both sexes were intensely alienated and had no say in their wages, hours, and had little autonomy. So they formed unions. It's pretty interesting because compared to the West, which separated unions based on occupation, the first unions in Japan were much more inclusive and grouped unskilled and skilled workers together. At first, these organizations went on strike and protested peacefully. Some even tried to create a socialist political party, but the state quickly crushed these movements, which just ended up radicalizing people further. Starting in the 1890s, many workers began to embrace anarcho-syndicalism.
Well, if you're not a communist, what are you?
Nothing.
Nothing?
I dislike all forms of government.
But somebody must rule.
And I don't like the word rule.
Well, if we don't like the word rule, let's call it leadership.
Leadership in government is political power, and political power is an official form of antagonizing the people.
Anarchists believe that social hierarchies lead to the consolidation of power, and so they organize horizontally. Anarcho-syndicalists apply this lens to the organization of unions. They believe that workers can seize power through a decentralized means.
Hi Mana, hi Ims, hi, happy Twitchiversary. Hello Aiden. Just means there is no anti-communism, luckily. Okay.
Through workers' councils and direct action.
In Barcelona,
I mean, hopefully
trams
not.
and cinemas, factories, department stores, and even greyhound tracks were run by their own employees. The trade unions saw to food supplies. Union lorries drove out to the villages with goods to exchange.
Since they were anti-state, they worked outside of parliamentary politics entirely. Some of Japan's most important feminists came out of this scene. Itanoe was a big one, and her story is really inspiring, especially considering how patriarchal Imperial Japan really was. When she was just 15 years old, her family pressured her into an arranged marriage with an older man against her will.
Ew.
But Noe wanted her complete freedom. Upon graduating high school, she fled to Tokyo and began publishing in a feminist magazine called Seito at just 18 years old. She published works critiquing the institutions of marriage and motherhood, opening up academic debates about controversial topics like prostitution and abortion. Noe also
Who let the child read Bakunin? It's child abuse.
advocated for the practice of free love, which gave women autonomy by rejecting marriage and encouraging polyamory.
Poor child.
Today, her perspective is radical. In Imperial Japan, it was unthinkable. She basically turned this moderate feminist magazine into something so radical the authorities had to ban it on several occasions. But her politics weren't just confined to writing. In her personal life, Noe practiced free love as well. She had an open relationship with Osaki Sakae, a charismatic anarchist leader who we'll talk about more later in this video. Sakae's partner, another anarchist leader named Ichiko Kamachiko, wasn't aware of this polyamory. When Kamachiko found out about Noe, she literally tried to kill Sake. He survived, but his reputation definitely took a hit. Let that be a lesson to not mix politics with romance. Anyways, let's not get too
also,
off topic here.
Inform every parties involved. Like, if you want to be polyamorous, there's a lot of communication going on. If you can't communicate, then don't be polyamorous. The fuck? Or don't be in a relationship, period. The hell?
In the early 1900s, the state began to crack down on anarchists hard. In the Public Peace Law of 1900, the state criminalized workers' organizations and suppressed their ability to strike and unionize. You see, Japan was trying to establish itself as an empire, with an obedient population that could colonize Asia. But anarchist agitators were getting in the way. Some people saw this as a sign to establish a prominent leftist party. The state can't suppress the left if it's part of the legal structure, right? Wrong. The government quickly dissolved all attempts to create a socialist party. Still, anarchists continued to push against the growing police state. That was until 1910, when authorities raided the home of an anarchist-affiliated lumber mill worker in Nagano Prefecture. Inside, they found materials that could be used to make a bomb. The police believed this to be proof that there was an anarchist plot to kill the emperor, who was the head of the state. According to historians Vera Maki and Yamaizumi Susumu, the trial was a culmination of a concerted plan of repression of the socialist movement, directed by the cabinet of Prime Minister Katsura Taro and legal bureaucrats. In other words, this event served as a convenient pretext to suppress the socialist movement. They rounded up government dissidents from around the country, capturing anyone who had remotely socialist vibes. The court sentenced 12 people to life in prison and 12 others to death, but most of them had nothing to do with the assassination plot at all. The government named this the High Treason Incident. Among those who were killed by the state was Kotoko Shusui, who is widely credited as the guy who introduced anarchism into Japan. His partner Kanosuga was tragically sentenced to death alongside him. Suga was an anarchist and a feminist who believed that the emperor was holding the country back from achieving a socialist, secular society. She was especially against his patriarchal government, which basically banned women from having any sort of support system outside of the family. I'm not exaggerating, guys. Women were banned from gathering in public, organizing politically, and they weren't even allowed to observe parliament. And this kind of patriarchy also found its way into everyday life and even amongst leftist men. This led Suga to write lines such as this. Quote, "There are no animals in the world as conceited as men. When they are paid even casual compliments by women, they immediately jump to conclusions and betray themselves with loathsome smirks. Men really are the personification of conceit. Many men dislike women with their own opinions. They prefer women who would listen to what they have to say admiringly, even if they are utterly indifferent. Men who are conceited treat women as playthings. They hide behind their masks, looking grave, putting on airs and affecting dignity. And the more they talk self-importantly, feign cleverness, and take themselves too seriously, the more women are able to see through their downright stupidity.
Yeah.
Anyways, the high treason incident had a massive impact on the nation, which became increasingly paranoid about the state's strength and cohesion. Meanwhile, Osugi Sake, Noi's partner that we discussed earlier, is sitting in prison over an unrelated incident. If it had not been for his imprisonment, perhaps he would have also been executed. After this brutal publicized act of repression, the leftist movement was driven underground into a hibernation that lasted almost a decade up until 1919. When Sake was released from prison, he fought tooth and nail to resurrect the left from its period of hibernation. When leftist groups came out of hiding in 1919, the international political climate had changed immensely. The Bolshevik Revolution swept the world in 1917, showing workers across the world that it was possible to come together and seize power from the state. Japan's left was inspired. Hitoshi Yamakawa, along with a committee of Tokyo socialists, expressed sympathy for the Russian workers. Yamakawa is an interesting figure. He started as an anarchist, worked under the syndicalists before Shusui's execution, and after the Russian Revolution, he shifted towards a Bolshevik model. The October Revolution had a profound impact on Japanese politics, which up until then had been mainly anarcho-syndicalist. However, a new camp of Bolsheviks who retired their decentralized tactics in favor of an organized socialist movement began to emerge from the Japanese left. The split between these two tendencies culminated in the Anniverary debate, which means anarcho-Bolshevik. This was a prolonged debate between leftist intellectuals concerning the Russian Revolution and who would lead the revolution in Japan. The Bolshevik faction, which included Yamakawa, believed that the creation of a centralized and ideologically disciplined party would help in countering state repression.
No shit.
The anarchist faction, which included Sake, believed that this structure would exclude the masses and continued to emphasize the importance of decentralized action. However, in the shadow of the Russian Revolution and state repression, anarchism ended up falling out of favor during this period. In April of 1921, Yamakawa and his Bolshevik peers decided to establish relations with the Comintern.
No shit.
This was the Soviet's international organization which supported socialist movements across the world. But this relationship had to be kept in utmost secrecy, because if the government were to find out, they would do everything in their power to sever this tie. Eventually, Hitoshi Yamakawa, Sen Katayama, Sakae Toshihiko, and Arahata Kanso founded the Japanese Communist Party in a secret congress in July of 1922. This new party would also work with unions, but unlike the anarcho-syndicalists, they had an organized approach. They also claimed to be more optimistic than the anarchists, who had fallen into a nihilistic tendency, especially following their repression. Yamakawa believed that it was necessary to balance mass politics with a diligent party
revolutionary optimism
structure. He states, quote, "We must be careful to not dissolve ourselves into the masses, still under the control of capitalism. Should we throw away what we achieved in step one and allow the minority vanguard to dissolve itself into the masses, then certainly the proletarian movement will not have advanced forward. It will have degenerated from revolutionaryism to reformism and opportunism."
That's why
he calls for the creation of a vanguard party, a term that was refined by Vladimir Lenin to describe a group of the most class-conscious and most disciplined workers who would lead the masses
Lenin, please,
towards socialist revolution. To Yamakawa and the Bolsheviks, creating a centralized vanguard would help them
democratic centralism within the party is part of what stayed over from this time.
topple the empire and achieve socialist revolution. However, even the Bolshevik faction couldn't exactly figure out what to do with the vanguard party. As Japan was gearing up for war with China, factions within the Bolsheviks began to argue with the USSR on whether they should be conducting anti-imperialist action and where they should be conducting this action. Eventually, the USSR told the communists the harsh truth. Socialist revolution was not coming to Japan anytime soon. The state successfully squashed the leftist movement and was gearing up its citizens for war.
Manchuria, the first objective in the Tanaka Plan. By September 18th, the Japanese, who by treaty patrolled the southern Manchurian Railway, had secretly and illegally increased their garrisons.
The country was no longer safe to work in, and besides, the real revolutionary action was happening overseas, in the colonies. Some JCP members took this personally. They clung on to the hope that Japan would be the first country to achieve socialism in Asia. The Comintern encouraged the party to focus on anti-imperialist action, but leaders like Yamakawa maintained the naive hope that Japanese workers would be the first ones to liberate themselves. He believed that once Japanese workers gained class consciousness and overthrew the capitalist class, workers across Asia would follow suit and have their own revolutions. But it was no longer the 1890s, and the empire was rapidly expanding. It wasn't the Japanese workers, but the Chinese and Korean ones who were actually fighting back. Yamakawa was probably
I love love and hate those old-timey war videos, voiceovers, war in the Pacific. Yeah.
influenced by the imperial Japanese ideology of Pan-Asianism, which espoused that Japan would lead a union across Asia to counter the West. But it ended up being a pretext for colonial expansion.
Yeah,
it's much like how leftists in the West adopt white supremacist attitudes towards revolutions in the global South. It was a chauvinistic and nationalist viewpoint. Yamakawa discredited the colonial uprisings because he believed that they were nationalist and anti-Japanese instead of being anti-capitalist, which is a rich critique to make when you're literally operating from the imperial core.
Yep.
It's much like how leftcoms will be anti-Palestinian liberation because they're nationalist. Like, man, read the room. People are dying.
Okay, that's good. That's a good take. I like that.
And when you hyper-focus on one issue without looking at the big picture, you will develop tunnel vision and you will end up fighting insignificant battles. Anyways, because Yamakawa refused to adapt his principles to the present conditions, he ended up splitting from the party. In 1927, as Japan was on the brink of war with China, the rest of the JCP took the Comintern's advice and shifted their priorities towards waging an anti-imperialist struggle with the colonies.
Okay.
In 1930, Japan staged a false flag attack and colonized northeast China. And in 1937, Japan would formally declare war. Now, we're about to get to the most interesting part of this video, but before you do, please consider subscribing to my channel and hitting that like button. And if you have $1 or $2, consider joining my Patreon, where we have a monthly
I'll
reading
look into
circle,
her, like,
Discord server, and extra
all
content.
of her other videos.
So during the war, many leftists went abroad due to political persecution that they faced back at home. Many of them went to China.
Dude didn't practice revolutionary defeatism, yeah. It gives a bit of German Communist Party prior to Nazi domination. It does give that vibe. I know a bit of the other history, but this next part really surprised me. I still hear fascists in Japan talk like they are fighting against Western imperialism. The nationalist types who say that bread is a foreign evil and rice should be eaten instead of... Yeah, I don't like that. It's just whatever, bro. Go back to your Vans. The fuck?
China to fight alongside the nationalist and communist forces who were active.
Next, the local idiot. Nexty, the local idiot. Hi, I'm on a happy anniversary stream. Thank you.
Actively resisting Japanese occupation. One of these men was Wataru Kaji, a communist political activist who was hunted by the Japanese police. His story is quite tragic. In 1933, his best friend and famous writer, Kobayashi Takuji, was captured by the police, and he ended up dying during a violent interrogation.
Shit.
After finding Kaji's card on Takuji's body, the police captured him. But luckily, he didn't meet his friend's fate. After spending some time in prison, he fled to China in 1936, just a year before the war, and he quickly got involved in the anti-imperialist struggle. He spent time in Wuhan, which was controlled by the nationalist government at the time. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Chinese history, the country had a civil war between the nationalist and communist forces in 1927 to 1937, after which they formed a brief united front to fight against Japan. After spending a large amount of time with Japanese POWs captured by the nationalists, Kaji believed that given humane treatment and proper education, he could convert these soldiers into resistance leaders. He thought that punishment and shaming POWs would be a waste of time. Instead, he believed that by treating these soldiers with empathy and showing them their similarities with oppressed Chinese workers, that they would realize that they're fighting on the wrong side. He worked alongside his wife, Ikeda Yukiko, to rehabilitate prisoners of war from the Guizhou province POW camp. Under GMD leadership, this camp was governed strictly, in a top-down fashion, and forced prisoners to adopt a nationalist ideology. Under Kaji, this camp was transformed into a, quote, space of mutual understanding, discussion, and education, inspiring him to create an anti-war league of former POWs. In Guilin, he recruited members from a local POW camp and rehabilitated them for the league. He encouraged common soldiers, the poor ones who were forced to fight, not the imperial aggressors, to read up on Marxist texts, report on the war, and engage in open debate with their comrades. He sought to show them that the imperial government was taking advantage of Japanese workers by sending them into war. But of course, not all of the soldiers were immediately receptive to this message. and many of them ended up stubbornly arguing against it. However, instead of punishing them, Kaji encouraged debate, because he wanted these men to adopt anti-imperialism out of their own volition. After forming the League, Kaji and these soldiers went to Japanese bases and hid in the mountains while broadcasting anti-war propaganda to soldiers. They call these attacks verbal bullets. In a famous speech, Kaji broadcast the following message.
Fellow comrades, I am actually Japanese. I am one of your comrades. Here are many Japanese comrades amongst Chinese soldiers. Amongst the Japanese, many are like you soldiers. They've been deceived like you to fight for the Japanese army. This war is actually an aggressive war planned by the military authorities.
This was a speech that countered decades of Japanese imperial propaganda. And eventually, this organization grew to hundreds of members. But unfortunately, it was disbanded by the nationalists, who grew increasingly suspicious of their communist Japanese allies. You see, the two things the nationalists hated the most were communists and Japanese. So it's surprising that Kaji was able to go through with this all in the first place. But they made their impact, and many organizations such as this one propped up across China. And they were eventually united under the Japanese People's Emancipation League. Together, the Chinese communists, reformed POWs, and Japanese anti-war activists formed this association. A few hundred of them joined the 8th Route Army, which was a field army commanded by Mao Zedong that fought against the Japanese using guerrilla warfare. The impact that leftist organizers were able to make in Japan really makes you think, what could Yamakawa and his peers have achieved if they did not adopt such chauvinistic attitudes about revolution?
Already know the vid is gonna include the pic from that assassination, and I'm preemptively sad. I know, right? I had meant to watch this video. How is it so far? It's pretty good, actually. Also, I need to go to the bathroom, imp, so I'll be back in a few. Okay, I'll be back. BRB. I'm back. Hello, everybody. I had to read a book written by the JCP about its first 50 years or so. It detailed the late 19th and early 20th century repression of the Japanese working class. It was incredibly violent. Yeah. This is fascinating so far. I don't think Japan had any sort of leftist movement at all. It did, though. I think I like calm. It can't be over. Oh, it did. They went to war at one point. Every capitalist government wants us to think leftists never were or will be. Yeah. That's why they do everything in their power to suppress every ounce of like socialist movement in the global south or wherever the fuck. I believe that at one point communists in Japan were working with the PLFP. Yeah, they were. Japan's communist revolutionary history is extremely suppressed. There's always been a minority leftist opposition, even if the LDP has held power for almost the entirety of modern Japan's history. Otherwise, there just wouldn't be things like public health care trains, etc. A lot of stuff was publicly owned up until Japan's version of Margaret Thatcher in the early 2000s dismantled much of that into public-private partnerships. Yeah, kind of sucks.
On August 15th, 1945, the Japanese surrendered to the Allied powers. Under Allied occupation, communist leaders were eventually allowed to return home from exile, and they were allowed to participate in domestic politics safely again. But this did not last long, because there was one big problem. The US, who was in charge of Japan's post-war administration, was very anti-communist.
Douglas MacArthur, who led the Allied administration, literally proposed to use 30 to 50 atomic bombs on Korea and China in order to stop the spread of communism in East Asia.
They set up a post-war structure that basically turned the island into a client state of the US. Since I've covered this topic extensively on my channel, I will not spend too much time talking about it, but if you're new to my channel and would like to learn more about that topic, I have plenty of videos on the subject. After facing repression from the administration once again, the JCP was driven underground, until 1955, in which they were allowed to emerge again. But they were forced to make a historic compromise. They abandoned their principle of armed struggle and adopted reformist electoral politics. But radical leftist agitation did not stop there.
No doubt about it, most Tokyo people do not want the new security treaty between Japan and America. Outside Parliament, they demonstrated against it, hoping to stop the government ratifying the treaty. It gives the US bases 10 more years to stay in Japan.
When the AMBO Treaty was signed in 1960, which formally established a military alliance between the US and Japan and allowed US military bases to exist in the country, 6.2 million students and workers took to the streets. The JCP and their student branch joined these protests. But while the former advocated for a peaceful protest, the latter believed that they had to take a more radical approach. Many of those from the student wing of the JCP ended up abandoning the party and a few years later joined the All-Campus Joint Struggle Committee, also known as Zenkyoto. This was a mass movement of students from across 127 different universities who participated in student strikes and university occupations. This organization was very much a product of its time. In the 60s, the world had globalized significantly through the Cold War and the development of mass media. Television sets were being distributed, and news was getting to individuals faster than ever before. Zenkyoto was part of a larger global student uprising that Emanuel Wallerstein called the World Revolution of 1968. In America, students were fighting against the Vietnam War, and the Black Panthers engaged in armed struggle against the racist state. In France, millions of students and workers threatened to topple the government. And in Brazil, resistance was growing against the military dictatorship. These events were televised en masse and resonated with students globally, who were frustrated with their own material conditions. On July 5th, 1968, Japanese students who were fed up with the exploitation of Japanese universities came together to form Zenkyoto. This was a student-led direct democracy, a decentralized organization that took from Japan's long-standing anarchist tradition. They resisted the Vietnam War, American imperialism, and the exploitation of Japanese universities, who were hiking up tuition and underpaying student workers. The movement spread to hundreds of universities and thousands of high schools too. But of course, this was a broad and all-encompassing organization and had a lot of splinter organizations come out of it. A more radical faction of the New Left was the Japanese Red Army. This was a group formed in 1971 and was led by Fusako Shigenobu, a working-class student who was radicalized by the student protests of the 60s. Red Army members believed that student protests and the JCP were not doing enough to change the structure of society, and so they joined the international network of revolutionaries across the global south. But they soon decided that Japan could no longer be the center of their operations. So they went to Cuba and North Korea, but these states prevented their militaristic activities. Instead, they ended up establishing their base in Beirut, Lebanon, and worked together with the PLFP to advance global revolution through Palestinian liberation. In 1971, this group split into two factions, the United Red Army and the Japanese Red Army. The URA rejected the group's pivot to internationalism and sought to create a Japan-centered organization with strict ideological principles. But these principles were so strict that it led to an internal purge that resulted in the death of 12 of its own members.
Damn, what?
The JRA, on the other hand, continued to make international ties. According to Jeremy Randall, the JRA viewed, quote, Palestine as a venue to jumpstart global revolution, as it represented in their literature the culmination of capitalist and imperialist contradictions. On May 1972, 3 men from Shigenobu's group volunteered to assassinate—
See how, like, right now, the more that we let Israel do whatever the fuck they want to Palestine, the more that we get suppressed in our own countries.
an Israeli scientist who was responsible for creating biological warfare to use on Palestinian civilians. In Lod Airport, his assassination led to a skirmish between officers and the army that led to the death of 26 settlers. Although Shigenobu was not aware of this operation, she was falsely prosecuted for the actions of these men, and was scapegoated as the mastermind of the operation. Nonetheless, they continued to operate until 2001.
Damn.
While Japan's New Left was successful in creating a mass movement that could challenge institutional structures such as the university system and
it became a cult quickly. Some of these splinter groups were kind of just their own little personality cults.
Imperialism, they had a lot of internal issues that mirrored the exploitation they were fighting against. For example, misogyny was still very prevalent within the New Left. As we learned, Shigenobu was scapegoated for the actions of her male peers. This was part of a larger overarching sexism that plagued the Japanese New Left. According to Nick Kapoor, New Left movements such as Zenkyoto, quote, often reproduce traditional gender hierarchy, marginalizing women from decision-making processes and instead relegating them to traditionally feminine tasks, such as secretarial and housekeeping duties, and the serving of tea.
While these women did tiresome domestic labor in the barracks for their male comrades, their contributions were often undermined.
True.
Men would tell them that their
mid-20th century revolutionary movement problems.
Domestic labor did not count because Marx only talks about wage labor, which is a very narrow view of Marxism that does not take into account the decades of Marxist feminist literature that has been written since the 19th century, and the writing of Engels. In fact, the New Left gained prominence because of the participation of female students. For so long, labor activism was dominated by men, but after women gained more social mobility in the post-war period, they ended up being a large part of student strikes and organization.
Also, some male activists ended up sexually coercing and assaulting their female comrades, co-opting feminist terms such as free love and solidarity to justify their disgusting actions. Furthermore, Japan had not fully decolonized after the war and ended up maintaining chauvinistic attitudes about Japan's place in Asia. Much like Yamakawa, in many cases they acted as the saviors of Asia and did not sufficiently engage with Chinese or Korean voices. A lot of ethnic Koreans living in Japan had to create their own counter-hegemonic organizations to fight the discrimination that they faced. This group was called the Chongryeon, and I made a short about it recently, but let me know in the comment section below if you want me to talk about it further. Anyways, the New Left also ended up developing tunnel vision in their activism. It's interesting because they were either like, let's go fight for Palestinian liberation across the world, or let's hyper-focus on domestic Japanese politics. But not many leftists dared to look across to their neighbors in Korea, in China, places that were formerly their empire, to build networks of solidarity. even though those were the two countries that were building successful socialist projects. What's also interesting is that Zenkyoto would actively fight against the Vietnam War, but paid significantly less attention to the Korean War, in which the Japanese government was directly involved. Perhaps this is due to lingering sentiments of Japanese supremacy, which included the savior mentality. But that's just a hypothesis. In popular imagination, the 60s and 70s are remembered
That hypothesis is not far from, the truth though.
as a period of senseless
Marx only talked about wage labor. Red Queen, right wing, try not to make the left sound cool. Challenge, impossible. I've met communists who haven't read Kollontai, Fanon, Claudia Jones. It's wild. It's wild, yeah. If your communism is, how are they gonna call themselves communist? They haven't read Fanon? The fuck? I wish Kollantai's views were more prominent in our spaces today, even. The patriarchal nonsense is so deeply everywhere. Yeah.
student violence.
Imperial chauvinism is a hell of a drug. I just gave her so many points for properly using hypothesized instead of theory.
The New Left was preoccupied with internal ideological disputes, and they couldn't connect with the working masses. On top of that, media outlets made a spectacle out of their violence. The media stigmatized student protest, and the state violently repressed it. As a result, any association with radical student protest could get you in a lot of trouble.
The focus on Vietnam War was something of a Japanese hippie thing that I think inherited some culture from American hippies that were very focused on Vietnam War, but not as much as attacks on Korea. Yeah.
With these protests,
which is kind of brutal, like they killed Koreans, 2 million Koreans in 3 years. That's fucked up,
meant that you could be blacklisted from corporate and government jobs. On top of that, universities got rid of their student government programs so that the youth wouldn't have the infrastructure to organize like that again. But this has had a secondary product, creating an alienated student population. It's no surprise that a lot of young Japanese students are drifting towards far-right politics instead of left politics. Today, you don't hear much about leftist organizing coming from Japan.
No, not at all.
Prime Minister Takaichi has pushed for an increasingly conservative society. Students are discouraged from political action, and the JCP is a graying political party with little support or recognition from the youth.
It's not that. Actually, I don't think that's true because there's a lot of young JCP candidates and also a lot of participants.
Steinhoff argues that, quotes, although many New Left activists have remained involved in social movement activity, they have done so through alternative civil society that is invisible to the mainstream, as part of their efforts to disengage the continuing stigma attached to militant New Left organizations.
This is a big reason why when people talk about violent revolution, I don't think many understand that it's not just a big party. Just the party picks up guns and starts fighting the government. Every social revolution used the guns of the soldiers of the state to exact the violence part of this. Yeah. Hi, Mana Hecha. Hello, Blackbone. The JCP is the largest communist party in the world that isn't in state power. Yeah, that's true. That's a lot of support, actually.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know the time span is massive, so obviously I could not include every historical figure, incident, or ideological debate. But if you have anything interesting you'd like to add, please feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you to my wonderful patrons for making this video possible.
A special thanks to Ryder for
most people wouldn't know what to do if that was the case. Yeah. JCP being more queer now has, I think, brought in more young people, but I think many who leftist ideas end up going to Reiwa because it looks cooler, I guess. That's true too. There's a lot of younger people that join Reiwa. Mana, did you see the art? I was gone. What art? I'm learning a bunch of new stuff today. Me too, actually. Most people today wouldn't know what to do. Okay. We never hear about any communist organizing from Japan because you never hear shit about Japan besides anime, video games, and horrible salaryman working conditions. Also, Takaichi's best attempts to piss China off. I see a lot of JCP campaigns in my train station, actually. They're around. There are a lot of them are around. Nice that there's more queer people in the JCP. It's all the same fight, yeah? I say try and join the Discord, and after a vetting period, post the art in the Mana fan art channel. I don't have Discord. I'm not allowed to get it. Wait, what? Why are you not allowed to get it?
For free, Martin Reshowed.
Wait, what art? I don't. Did you send anything?
Bruni, Miao Nian, Bogus Poe, Millie, Proning Sloth 1999, Coleman, Mojo Ministry, Cokestraw, David Ryan, Pikio Banana, Chase Reynolds, Aaron, Girlfriend Hagel 3704, Louis DeMazzo, The Frilled Shark, Stray, Golden Green, Paul McCown, Bowery, Friedman Somer, Nicholas Rossett, Malpertuis, Potato Tools, Adrian.
Thank you, sponsors, patrons of this person. It's my Twitch PFP. I don't see it. 100% bet that JCP is fairly prominent internally, but internationally, Japan's image is often tied to its position to Western imperial interests. I doubt privately owned news agencies at the international level want to give anybody the impression Japan might be a red fever. Yeah, might have a red fever. That's true. Okay, what else do we have here? I want to check out her channel. Aesthetics and extremism. Who's to blame for the Yakuza? Hikikomori, the haunting echoes of eugenics in Japan. Okay, that's an interesting topic. Yoshiko Kawashima, gender rebel or imperial pawn? Girls Love, Empire and Tragedy, the history of doomed Yuri. Oh, damn. Okay, that sounds interesting. Profit over knowledge, the death of the humanities, education in the capitalist university. Yeah. That's why, like, oh, you should just do STEM. When clowns fight back. Imperialism, but make it kawaii. This manga was made by the US military. Oh, for real? What? The Science of Exclusion. RFK Jr. versus Autism. Medical authority in the state. Post-war identity crisis. Analyzing Lane. A complex history of Japanese identity. She has a lot of interesting video essays, actually. I like that. The lesbian rebels who shaped Irish independence. The untold history of disabled gestures. That's cool. Very cool. I like these. Doomed Yuri. No, why must the Yuri be doomed? Stop dooming the Yuri. Let them live. Creator passes the vibe check. Yeah, she does. The US military has a larger budget for propaganda than you think it has, and it reaches farther than you'd believe. Yeah, I'm gonna subscribe to her. Subscribe!
This video is brought to you by my patron.
Okay, what else can we do? Mana, I'm pretty sure my PFE shows if you tap my username. Sorry, I know I'm being a bit annoying about this. What? Wait, why are you not allowed to get a Discord? I feel like tourists and others with interest in Japan would have different feelings in their Japan travel vlogs if the JCP poster said communist in English instead of Kyosanto, which they can't read. Yeah. The US military has a larger budget for propaganda. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I believe that. I'm all over that Irish video later. Yeah. Mana, I'm pretty. Another one, Mana, if you haven't yet, is Luna. I know Luna Oe. I've been watching her videos for a long time. Since even before I was Mana, I've been following Luna Oe. Mana is probably because of weird people on Discord. I'm not allowed to talk with strangers like directly in DMs. Wait, who allows you to do what? Are you a child? You're a child. I think that person is a minor. Okay, I was in a few of her vids. Cool. This may be a human minor. I don't remember. I'm sorry. Shao lover since 1987. You were probably born in 2007, huh? Why is your name 1987? This may be, yeah. Hi, nice to meet you. I am Star. I really love your cover of Inca Impulse, and I have it in all my playlists in Spotify. You are beautiful, and I love your music. Thank you, Starlight. I love Shao. I don't know Shao. What is Shao? Wait, did you I can't really see your PFP though. I mean, I see it, but it's not clear. Like, it's just I can't see it. Two 2007 was 19 years ago. Oh, okay. Wait, what? Has it been that long? Has it been that long? Damn. 19 years ago? You were okay, so are you like 15 or something? Mana, I'm the one who made the cosplay. Oh, you're the Roblox kid. Oh. Okay. Wait, has your profile name been like that? Okay, you're the Roblox cosplayer. Okay, I remember that. I made Mana avatar out of scraps. Okay, that's I can't see. I can't like zoom in though. Tony Stark built this cave with a box of scraps. The fact that people were born after 2010. Twins. Hello, Manapua. No, I changed it actually a few months ago. Oh, okay. Wait, so how am I supposed to see your PFP? Anna is on Twitter and Blue Sky if you want to submit the art there. Oh, that was Dream, Solaris. I don't have Twitter and Discord. How did you show Piotr the Roblox? マナさん、日本に住んでいますか? Yes. 日本に住んでいます. You can do blue sky, dear God. Happy versary, thank you, Jelly Dots. Someone else searched my Roblox avatar and sent it. I remember it. Oh. Oh, I think you kind of like left it. Like your username or whatever. That was my mod, Piotr, that retrieved the Roblox. Okay, so how are you supposed to show it to me? I don't see your profile picture is so tiny. It's just like I can't see it. I'll share it in a Discord for you. Okay. Someone else search my Roblox avatar. Yeah, that was Piotr. It's gonna be very tiny, but it's the best that I can do. I can see it, but it's not like I don't like understand what's going on here. I can vaguely see myself, but it's not clear. It's like I can't really see it. I can't see it fully. I can send you my avatar and you can send it to her or something. But they're not allowed to like do DMs and shit. Hey, that's probably the best for the best though, because you probably shouldn't talk to strangers. You probably shouldn't talk to me. I'm a stranger. Why are you here? Where are your parents? Yeah, like I mean Tibski, yeah, that's exactly how I see it. And it's so tiny, I can't see it at all. It's like a small square. Mana, go to Twist shirt and search my profile. Yeah, I looked at your profile and it's still it looks tiny as fuck. Okay, so why is this very important? Are you showing me your art? Or what is this? Hi parents are probably fighting against capitalism. And Michael Jackson is my very odd parent. Mana is my mom. No, where are your parents? It's slightly clearer, but it's still not full size. Yeah, I still can't see it. I mean, it's very, very tiny. Yamana will turn you communist. Get out before it's too late. That's true. Wait, can I send it to you from Twitch whisper thing? My whispers are closed. Much like you, I don't accept DMs from strangers. I'm sorry. Because I'm a public figure and it opens like a lot of can of worms. I don't want to send I don't want to receive like unsolicited messages. That's why my DMs in my public platforms are closed. Nobody can DM me on Twitter unless I follow them back. Eh? 英語で配信することに決めた理由は何ですか? Because I speak English. Why? Why? That because I speak English. そもそも英語話せるからです。それだけで。Wait, how do I turn mine on? I don't know. Send it to one of us. We can send it to Mana Discord fan art channel from there. Wait, did you make it yourself? What is it? Like a painting or something? Mana, I've been waiting weeks to show you the art. Every time you were live, I was asleep. Oh, it's okay. How do I open my whispers? Ask chat. Why are you asking me tech stuff? I am not tech support. I need tech support. I need to ask you how to turn on my whispers. Oh wait. Do I know how to do that? I don't know how to do that. I just automatically get like, no, I don't want to receive messages. I didn't ask, but how are you? Sorry for the late reply and answer. I'm a little busy. It's okay, Starlet. I'm okay. It's fan art of me and you together. Oh, for real. Sorry to say, but this is getting a bit weird. It's damn chat delay. Also the damn chat delay. Oh, okay. I mean, I appreciate that, but I need to keep my stream moving. Yeah, I mean, have like one of the imps like message you so you can send it to them. Who's to blame for the Yakuza? The feudal system. Okay. All right, everybody, chat. I think it's almost 2 a.m. and I'm really starting to feel really sleepy. So, thanks for joining me in my first stream anniversary, I guess. So, I think I'm going to leave it here for now, but I'm going to see you soon again. So hopefully I will be able to plan like my other streams better. But in any case, thank you for joining me in my gorilla stream today. And I'll be rating who is available today. Oh, it's Comrade Dave. Okay. Okay. Okay, cool. All right, Imps, it's gonna be this is it for me today. I need to rest, so hopefully, I don't know, maybe I will stream tomorrow or on Sunday. You know, who knows? But I'll let you know beforehand, like maybe 5 minutes before or 10 minutes before. I don't know. All right, I'll be seeing you soon. Later, motherfucker. Bye. Okay, wait, my raid stream.